Hey, welcome to Real Nerds 2011 Filmsplosion. My name's Ryan. To my right is
James.
To my left,
Brad.
And we are recording before a live studio audience. So 2011 I thought was a good year for movies, and Brad doesn't agree. But
no way.
I thought it was average, about as interesting as last year's.
Really? I
disagree. Because here, there were good movies last year too. But this year, when I got down to my top 3, maybe even 4, I just sort of stared at them for like 15 minutes and could not figure out what to do.
It was a tough one. Like I juggled my list a lot, and I loved the movies towards the end of the year.
That's what I'm saying is like this year's there was no like clear front runner for me. Like say The Dark Knight in 2008, it was all just like, yeah, here's 6 movies that I really liked, and the other 4 also good, but I'm just rounding out. the top 10.
So you're saying that because there wasn't one movie that was better than the rest, this year was shitty because there were a lot of movies and they were all really good?
They were
doesn't
all
make any sense.
There's no like amazing movie to me.
I got you. No, I got you. I don't understand what the shit he's talking about.
Anyways, so we are going to start with
our top 10s.
Not our top 10s.
Oh, okay.
We're going to go with
James
the
didn't read
awards.
the Facebook page.
I did. I was leading. It was a segue. Come on.
Just trying to get the podcast done faster.
We all did.
All right, and that's enough for this year. Thanks, guys.
We have some awards to hand out. Now we might all have a different pick for these awards.
I think we should try to talk about it and pick one.
Asterisk, there's no actual physical award to give out.
Yeah, there is no actual physical award.
No, there is. They're all in the mail already. You'll get them as soon as you listen to this podcast.
So this first award is the best movie people did not see.
I got a couple written down, but there's a clear winner of this one.
Okay.
The ones I've gotten written down are Tucker and Dale vs. Evil, Super, and Attack the Block.
I agree with you.
You got another one?
No, actually, I wrote Super as the one choice.
That's the one choice for you?
There were some other ones I thought of this morning, but I decided to just stick with the one I thought about all week was Super, yeah.
Really?
Because actually, when I was doing the research, it only made like $300,000, but it cost $2 million or $16 million or $2 million something to make. Yeah, it is in the millions to make.
Oh wow!
So as far as other movies that I read that people didn't see, there wasn't that much of a gap in.
That's kind of weird. So that's
the bigger travesty.
I watched that movie. There are not $16 million in that movie.
I was wondering.
There's a scene where God comes down and pokes him in the brain, but that was not worth $16 million. Spoilers for people who haven't seen Super.
It might just be $2 million. I hope it's $2 million.
I hope it's $2 million. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
But still, that's like $300,000 to $2 million. Like, not even DVD sales are gonna get that back. Hopefully, on demand.
You know what? If James Gunn doesn't make another movie, that's okay.
Oh.
No,
James Gunn's like, I want to listen to this Real Nerds podcast.
I want more movies like Super.
No, it's true. I do want him to make more crazy fucking shit that I won't understand. But no, honestly, I made this category, and I made it because Tucker and Dale vs. Evil needs to be the winner.
Is what I picked too.
And Attack the Block.
But here's the thing: more people saw Attack the Block. Yeah. Like Attack the Block had a lot of buzz around it, and made all of its money based on the fact that everybody was talking about it, and everybody from Edgar Wright, all of those people in Hollywood are talking about that movie. Nobody's really talking about Tucker and Dale. And Tucker and Dale, if it had been released wide in a regular theater, would have done great. Mm-hmm. Honestly, like that movie is a good, solid film that
it would have had a soft opening, but I think word of mouth would have.
Yeah, I think so
absolutely.
too. And what's cool
and for how
about
cheap
movie,
it was, it totally would have been good.
It's basically one joke the whole movie.
Yeah,
it's these kids that are trying to do something. They're douchey college kids, as in every horror movie, and
Creature, for example.
Yeah, the Hicks are misunderstood, but it's played with like such awesomeness by the actors in it that you really get the sense of that it's a funny movie, and they tried really hard, and it's just goofy, and I love it.
Yeah, no, that's great.
So that's my.
Are you okay with that? If we pick that as a movie,
yeah, that's fine.
The best movie people didn't see is Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
And if you haven't seen that movie, seriously, you have to go see it. Aaron, you saw that movie.
I did. I saw it a couple days ago.
It's on the internet now. Yeah, seriously, it's great.
It's really good.
It is great. The next two, James thinks it should be the same one, but I actually have different opinions on this. This is the I Want My $10 Back award. And for me, it was Creature.
Still, okay, yeah, I'm going to fight you on this. Because, alright, the other movie on this list is obviously Twilight.
Yeah, and that's the worst movie.
The Twilight Saga, The Breaking Dawn, Part 1.
You know why?
Part one.
Twilight's the worst movie of the year is because it's a movie that's made tons of money. People like it, and it's made by people who know better, and they still make shitty fucking.
And
movies.
it's giving people seizures. Like, it's physically hurting people, not just emotionally and psychologically hurting people. But here's the thing: I disagree with you here, and I think that there should only be one category, and they should both be given to Twilight, because I want my $10 back for Twilight, because I don't want to feel shitty about the fact that I gave $10 to Twilight. Like, Creature, horrible movie. Made by morons who didn't have enough of a budget to even kill the creature in a more creative way than with a sinkhole. All right? But still, I'm okay giving them money. Because at least they went and they did something. It wasn't good, but they went and did something I can agree with.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree, but the worst movie ever is Twilight, because, like I said, it's made by people who know better. And Bill Condon's an Oscar winner. And you know what I mean? And the whole movies give me headaches, and I can't stand them, and they're terrible for women.
I got $10.50 of movie out of that movie.
Yeah.
That movie was hilarious.
I agree. That's the thing. I feel that way about Creature, too. Like, Creature is really funny. I mean, it's bad, and I hate the fact that we saw that instead of The Help. But still.
But yeah, anyways, Brad, what do you think the worst movie of the year was?
Well, I didn't see Twilight, so I can't ask for my $10 back on that one. So, I wrote down several worst movies of the year. The Rum Diary was boring as hell.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
I had that on the list too.
Immortals was brain dead to me.
No,
Creature,
but not the worst.
Hey, my list. Creature, obviously, Creature was terrible. We spent an hour and a half on that. Pirates 4 was better than those three, but still just. Given how good the other ones were.
I think the Pirates 4, but you just hit it on the head. Pirates 4 fits into a different category that we'll get to later.
Yeah, it's just like a lamer version of
Yeah, no,
it's
I agree.
It's just lazier, I guess. And then Sucker Punch was again like Immortals to me. I was just kind of sitting there. There was parts of the movie where I was just like looking at the wall because it was so uninteresting. And
I think there's really cool shit in that movie. I think it doesn't fit. I think narratively that movie falls apart. We didn't talk about it on the podcast.
It's stylish for sure, but narratively it's just like I can't.
I could never justify calling that the worst movie of the year. I think based on what you guys are saying, I think we keep it as two categories. We make $10 you want back, Creature, and worst movie of the year, Twilight.
I agree.
Okay. Ryan wins.
I agree wholeheartedly.
Our audience.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they all ran away.
They all ran away.
Isn't that boring already? All right.
So the next one is actually getting into good things. The best actress of the year. My nominee is Rooney Mara from The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, because I thought she was a cool heroine and she commanded the screen, and I thought she's really cool in the movie.
I've got a few on my lists, and I'll end with the one that I think should win. Emma Stone is on here because she's in a couple of really great movies this year. Rosie Huntington-Whiteley is just on here as a nomination, just because I think she should get a nomination, but only because she let Michael Bay shoot up her skirt, literally up her skirt. But the person I think should win is Elle Fanning. Honestly, Elle Fanning, just the most memorable moments from this year, I think, were from her, and because of amazing things that she was able to do. You know, we talked about it on the podcast, but she is not only able to play her character well, she is then able to, like in the scenes where they're making their movie, play that character well as well. I mean, she steals every scene she's in one of my favorite movies of the year.
Good one.
Yeah, that was actually the front runner on my list, but the fact that I can't believe I didn't think of Rooney Mara because I think she's deserving too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, she's
cool.
She is really fantastic.
But yeah,
she just doesn't like
for her age really sells.
Yeah, exactly. The fact that she was so young and she like Rooney Mara definitely transforms into that character for me, but I never quite connected with her emotionally the way that I think I would have to. That's sort of the reason that she wasn't my forerunner.
And then I also put Ellen Page for Super on my list because I thought she
she was really
playing
good.
a crazy ass comic book.
Absolutely.
I mean, guess based on that the award goes to Elle Fanning.
I think that's good. Are you okay with it?
Yeah, I'm totally okay with it.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
had you thought of her when you were doing it?
No, I did forget about her. So
that's what I figured.
I just
because I had a hard time with the category because like we made the favorite actor category because Brian and I had somebody in mind for it.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, for gender reasons, we have to have a favorite actress. But I had no idea. I was just thinking, and then as soon as I found her, I was just like, oh man, that's totally it.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, you can't go wrong with her at all. You know what I mean?
It was amazing.
So the next is the best actor of the year, and my nominee is Ryan Gosling from Drive.
It's Ryan Gosling.
Good choice.
Yeah, because he's badass in that, and he's really good in Crazy Stupid Love too.
He is, yeah. And I also had down Colin Farrell and Joel Courtney. Joel Courtney from Super 8. But Colin Farrell in Fright Night is specifically good and stood out for me.
Yeah, he's a great character.
Neither of those two should win, I think, over Ryan Gosling. Brad, what did you think?
I'm kind of shocked that you guys left out Michael Parks.
He was
good.
Shit!
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but actually,
I don't know, man.
I actually put down Rutger Hauer for Hobo with a Shotgun and Albert Brooks for Drive.
Oh
yeah, and Albert Brooks is good too.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. And in a role that you don't usually expect from.
Oh yeah, you don't expect him in that.
That one's a cool one. But yeah,
Michael Parks really.
Michael Parks, man. Well, he's definitely nominated. That's for sure. Man, I don't know.
For Red State, for those
for
listening
Red
who
State.
don't know what I'm talking
Michael
about,
Parks
'cause
is
he's not
for Red
exactly.
State playing Aben Cooper.
Yeah,
that was really amazing.
It was good.
Wow, I don't know.
I still think Ryan Gosling because he kind of transformed from this pretty boy to, and he doesn't really say very much in Drive either. He's really cool and menacing.
Yeah.
So,
because to some extent, like Michael Parks showed up and did just as good as he's ever done. You know, like Michael Parks is pretty haunting and wonderful in that movie, but he's always been like that. And Ryan Gosling, to me, like a year ago, if you'd said that name, I still think The Notebook. You know. And all of a sudden this year, I'm like, yeah, fucking Ryan Gosling. I want him in more movies. And I never would have expected that. Like, I thought of him as such a chick flick kind of guy that both of the roles... Because even though he's in a romantic comedy this year, that role is drastically different for him. So, yeah, I would still argue it's Ryan Gosling. I don't know. Like, he just does... He stands out for me. What do you think, Brad?
I think he deserves to be on the list, so it's up to you guys. Make
so
the
best
verdict.
actor award goes to Ryan Gosling.
I'm cool with that. With a close second to Michael Parks, probably.
Very close because you're right. He just his
I
monologue.
can't believe I forgot about that. Yeah, because so much of that movie relies on him. That without that.
See, I do too, but I think Drive's a better movie. That's why I gave the nod to.
Yeah,
Ryan
but we're not
Gosling.
voting on the movie. We're voting on the actor.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways,
what's the next category?
I don't have any more categories. I was going to go into the top 10, but you have.
We
about
haven't done.
disappointment
Yeah,
and
biggest
surprise?
disappointment.
Biggest disappointment. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. The two on here for me. One of them you won't agree with. The big one for me is Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides. The other one is Real Steel, but you guys won't agree with that. So
Definitely not the Real Steel.
Pirates of the Caribbean on Stranger Tides for me. The hype was like. I had really high hopes for that movie because this time it wasn't entrenched in all of the the plot of that first trilogy. Like this time they'd picked this good book about pirates and they were gonna shape that into a movie with Jack Sparrow in it. And I love Jack Sparrow, I still do. And I thought this is gonna be really cool. They're gonna take this good story, put this fun character in it, and it's really gonna be a fresh adventure. And it was clearly so rushed, and there was so much just bullshit in there about mermaids and just. It was insane. Like, plot lines that suddenly pop up and they're supposed to be important that were never there before. And it was absolutely the biggest disappointment for me.
I agree. The one thing is, the constant is, Johnny Depp as Jack Sparrow. But for some reason, when you have too much of him, it kind of takes away his mystique, if that makes any sense. Because when he's not on screen... Like in the first Pirates of the Caribbean, he's kind of the background guy.
Absolutely.
So when he comes back on, you're like, oh, I love when Jack Sparrow is around. But when he's
the comic relief.
Yeah, when he's the focus of the movie, he kind of loses his luster. And I agree with you. I think it was probably the biggest disappointment for me.
And was that movie even set in the Caribbean, or was it
somewhere
between?
No, that is. I mean, for one thing, it takes place in some of the same towns as the original movie. Like I think. Maybe not.
I thought it started
London
in
and
England,
stuff,
didn't it?
Oh, you're right. It does.
But yeah, it's like Pirates of the Caribbean, but
we're in. That's getting nitpicky. Like, because to me, the problem is even more just like I still believe that you could make a movie where the main character is Jack Sparrow and it'd be really good. My problem with that movie is that they somehow made all of the same mistakes that they made in the sequels, even though it wasn't even tied at, it wasn't tied to those movies, but it was still like, oh, here's this crazy stuff with mermaids, and here's this like over CG'd action. Like I didn't need that. I just needed a fun adventure.
And they had zombies in that movie, and they didn't even utilize them.
No,
it was weird.
it was.
Brad, did you ever any other big disappointments?
I had 3
Okay.
on my list. I have to be careful because they're not necessarily terrible movies, but
Yeah.
they were just not up to my expectations. For
Yeah.
instance, Source Code was, I think, if it had come out in the early 90s, it would have been a really amazing movie. And it's not fair for me to
Nothing
judge it
came out
because
this year.
Oh yeah, no, it did.
I saw this movie at like a dollar theater with like I think a mono sound system, so it was really tough to hear.
Yeah.
But I think aside from that, even it's just I like Moon a lot because of its production design and like art style.
Yeah.
And Source Code doesn't have that. It's a very straightforward thriller.
Yeah.
So
And
I was expecting something a little more like the idea is creative, but the actual execution of the idea doesn't look that creative.
Yeah, I got you.
So that was my disappointment on that. And then
I mean, I like that movie, but it was definitely not. Yeah, if you were somebody who came to it, there was a lot of hype about that movie because so many people liked Duncan Jones, who made Moon. That's why you bring it up.
yeah.
That I can see how that would end up on your list because it ends up just being sort of a thriller. And the end is really cool. I think you're right. The idea for that, and they're talking about making a TV show. I think that would be really cool. But that movie just ends up being like, meh, whatever. That's cool, you know.
And again, not the best environment to watch it in, so it's just like
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I wrestle with like, am I really judging it right? But then my other 2 are Green Lantern and so you've got
Well, now wait.
the best Bond director of the current films, Martin Campbell, Casino Royale and GoldenEye.
Yeah.
And then
But did you really think that movie was going to be great going in?
I didn't think it was gonna be great, but I thought it'd be, it throws a monkey. My disappointment is that it throws a monkey wrench into DC having future good movies because
Because they put a lot of work into
the
that.
reception
and
of
ends
it,
up being like, meh.
with good talent behind it, and it just turns out like that. It's like, and now the Avengers movie is coming out. It just totally overshadows any. Like I'm not looking forward to a Justice League movie. Like I don't really want one, but still, it's like getting other movies other than Batman and Superman is super tough now, I think.
Yeah, well, that's because DC sucks balls. They do. DC sucks, and Superman is the worst superhero in the world.
Ooh.
I'll fight you.
You know who's the greatest superhero of all time?
Batman.
Spider-Man.
Oh.
I
Actually,
can get
yeah,
behind
Batman's
that.
not a superhero, so
This is
you're
true.
right.
This is true. He's just a hero.
And then my other one was Cowboys and Aliens. Another enjoyable movie, but it has Harrison Ford in it, and he's good in it.
Yeah.
But the fact that the public was, again, unreceptive to Harrison Ford in Crystal Skull and Morning Glory, it's just like it damages my ability to see Harrison Ford on screen more often.
Yeah.
So
I know what you're saying. My biggest, it's funny. I kind of am glad you talked about this because I wanted to talk about this because it's not on my top 10. It's actually, I haven't written my top 20. It'll come out sometime in the next week. It's not in my top 20 either. And the reason is, as much fun as I have with that movie, and I saw it in theaters twice, when I think of that movie, I still can't not think about the one big plot point in that movie that I hate. There is a turn in the middle of that movie that I hate so much, and it just tarnishes the way I feel about the movie. Still a lot of fun. Still way better than people are saying.
We spoiled it on. The
Oh yeah, that's
Cowboys.
right. Yeah. When you find out that Olivia Wilde is an alien, that scene
You
is
don't
so
really
clunky.
spoil it because, I mean, it's in the trailer.
This is true. Yeah, if you've seen the trailer when you're watching the movie, you go, "Oh, she comes back because naked."
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
She's pretty.
I definitely I can see what you're talking.
She's
about.
good with what she's got, but like, yeah, that plot point is just like,
Yeah, totally.
it's,
But that still to
it
me
makes
is- yeah.
it makes the ending convenient.
Yeah, exactly.
It makes them gets them an easy way out of the movie.
Absolutely, I agree.
So
All right.
those are my disappointments. And you guys didn't do surprises.
I didn't do surprises
I
because
did
I didn't really have
Wait,
any.
Ryan, did you have a disappointment?
No, it's Pirates.
Pirates.
No. So no one did surprises.
No, because
No.
my surprise is actually in my top 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Well, then I'll just rattle off. I was surprised with Rise of the Planet of the Apes was better than I thought it would be. Real Steel was better than I thought it would be.
Nope.
Moneyball and Green Hornet.
You know what? Green Hornet.
I think is a little underrated.
Absolutely. I will totally agree with you there. I really wanted Green Hornet to get onto my top 20, and it didn't. But that movie was really fun and is well written, and I would really love to see a Green Hornet 2, though it will never happen because they dumped that movie.
And then Hugo was totally not what I thought it was going to be, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was more about the history of film than just a dopey children's movie.
I agree, sir.
Yeah, it wasn't that good, but it was still like
It's amazing.
I
It's
expected some just stupid
I think
kids.
you're right. Yeah.
Honestly,
Special effects
Hugo was on my biggest disappointments list.
And then Sherlock Holmes, I was
Actually, Sherlock
expecting
Holmes is pretty good.
is actually really fun.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, well, did you guys not like... I haven't gotten a chance to listen to the last week's because of everything going on. Did you guys like the first movie?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was all right. My disappointment is the lack of actual detective work. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I like to follow along and try to solve the mystery myself, but it seems like with
These movies,
it's just like
those movies are definitely more of a
they
sort of
connect the dots
thriller
for you.
kind of. And the truth is, with Sherlock Holmes has never been that kind of mystery. Sherlock Holmes has always been, even in the books, they're more like, they show you all these things, and at the end, he connects them all for you in ways that you never really could have necessarily seen. Sometimes you'll get suspicious about things, but they're never that kind of mystery where, like, if you're really smart, you can put them together. It's just kind of the unfortunate thing about, he was always trying to wow people.
I like how the Sherlock TV show does it.
Yeah, Sherlock the
It's
TV. But
excellent.
even then, they're sort of telling you how he's thinking and how he's connecting things together. So it's the same kind of thing where it does. I don't feel like it's the same kind of mystery where you can put it together yourself. Anyway.
Anyways, so yeah, those are our awards we handed out.
Yeah.
The Filmsplosion Awards 2011.
What did we say as biggest disappointments? Pirates?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay. I figured so.
Yeah, let's do that.
Because you didn't like it, yeah. All right, cool. Those are the awards. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun. So now we're going into the meat of our podcast. The Real Nerds 2011 Top 10. But there's lots of these movies.
20, right?
Brad said there's 20
different movies. Like, in theory, if we all had different movies, we'd have 30, but
Yeah.
some of them overlap, so we have 20.
Let me ask you a quick question. Are Ryan and I's lists the same, and then yours is just totally different?
I was very surprised by your guys' lists.
Are they?
Yeah.
They're different.
They're way
Are they
different.
really?
Yeah.
I don't know if they're way different, but
They're not.
I have a
they're
lot
not
of surprise.
drastically different, and mine's not actually.
And you don't know the order mine's in.
You and I have one that Ryan doesn't have, and
Oh, okay.
then you and I have one that James doesn't have, and then we each have 3 of the same between all of us. Like, all 3 of us have the 3 of the same ones, and then we each have 4. But
Anyway, we'll get into it and we'll find
Yeah,
out.
sure.
I mean, because I'm excited to see what's on these lists.
And my top 10 movie of 2011 is Real Steel.
Charlie, where is my money?
Buddy, I got your money. It's right. Oh, good. But
Charlie, you're
losing your belt.
Wait, Charlie, I can't hear what you're saying.
What was he like? As a boxer? Charlie was the top contender, number 2 in the world. Then the fight game changed.
I'm coming with you.
No, you're not.
I'm either coming with you or you're fishing for your keys in the sewer. Oh my god, that was close. Whoa!
Stubborn kid. This ain't a video game. This is for real. Let's make some money!
I just need a little loan.
As much as I like you, dude, you're a bad bet, brother.
Give it up, Charlie. You got nothing left.
What are we looking for?
Anything I could use to put a fighting robot together.
I think there's a whole robot in there.
Never seen anything like it before.
Can we get him a fight?
He's a sparring bot, built to take a lot of hits, but never dishing out any real punishment.
His name is Adam. Get him a fight.
You know you're bringing him home in pieces, right?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! He's smaller and weaker. He's gonna get his ass kicked.
I need you to teach him to box.
Are you kidding me?
You know this fight game inside and out. He needs your moves, your commands.
I can't.
Yes, you can.
And I know I've done all kinds of wrong by this kid. I just like to do one thing right.
Right uppercut!
Great fight, fellas.
Remember this name, Adam. This spot is one to watch.
I'm trying to see a better side to you here, Charlie.
It's not easy.
This is what it's all about.
We can't win, can we?
We'll see.
So I picked Real Steel because it's actually the biggest surprise movie for me this year, because seeing the trailers, I was like, it's just robots fighting. But to find out it's actually a story about a father redeeming himself through his son and all that jazz, I really enjoyed it. And I know James didn't like it.
No, it's not that I didn't like it. It's funny because what you just said is the opposite of me. Because I was like, a movie where there's boxing robots, I have to see that. That's going to be great. You know? Like, I was excited by the premise. So then when I showed up, I was like, the heart story that you're talking about is really good, but it never quite connects with me, and that's the only reason why,
But I really liked it, and surprisingly, I didn't think I'd enjoy it very much. And when I was making this list, and my wife saw it, she said, "Oh, that movie was stupid. It was so boring." All right, I didn't know Real Steel was boring, but I really loved Hugh Jackman, and I'm a big fan of Hugh Jackman.
Oh, absolutely.
And he's always good in everything he does, and the little boy was amazing in it, and
so was Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper was really good in that movie,
and just the whole. I just liked it. I just thought it was a different kind of story, and
it's cool to have one of those just come out of left field.
Yeah, and that's why it made my top 10 is one, because I didn't expect it to be as good. And I didn't expect to enjoy it as much as I did.
That's nice.
And I don't know. I just really liked it. I don't have a real big reason why. I just it's just something I really enjoyed watching.
Cool.
That's fine. These are really about these aren't our Oscar picks.
Oh no,
we're not picking best movie of the year. We're just picking the movies that each of us liked within 2011.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty clear.
So it's valid for you to have that on there.
Oh yeah,
No, if you enjoyed it, then it should be on there.
Yeah, so this is my whole thing. I thought the robot fighting was cool. I thought the special effects were really good in it.
It was just not it's on the top 10 list for best special effects this year from the Oscars.
It's cool.
Like even they feel like, hey, that was actually pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
And it is.
I thought the CGI for some of the
really
robots,
good.
a lot of them were practical, but
yeah.
I didn't
even that's pretty
impressive.
impressive.
There wasn't a lot of standout CGI that took me out of the movie, so it deserves to be on there.
So I just really enjoyed it, and that's why it made my top 10. And
very cool.
Yeah,
that's all I have to say about that. So
Brad,
we're on to me.
We're on to you, and Brad put together envelopes.
Yes,
with the number 10. Those are cool colored envelopes, like burgundy or Merlot, I guess.
Yeah,
Merlot. Oh, are they really? I'm colorblind. They just look black.
Color. It is.
I tried to get black, but they didn't have black, and then
that's okay.
I left with these, and then realized I probably should use red because that's part of our color scheme. But Merlot is classier.
The color scheme doesn't matter. It's all on the internet.
Yeah.
Brad.
That's why I wrote in silver instead of printing, because it's like I'm going to throw these out.
You sir are insane. All right.
It looks nice though. I love it.
Oh no, it does. It's really cool.
So Brad, he's going to open the envelope.
Drum roll, please. Insert sound effect.
You should put in a ripping noise in there for ripping open the.
Yeah. Here. There we go.
So is Brad going to show us the card? Are we going to see it?
No, this is going to be the
10
longest number 10 ever.
Is Enter the Void, the director's cut.
Fuck.
What do you have to say about that, James?
You cheat every year.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because I brought my ticket binder with me.
I don't care.
This
movie don't care. Here's the problem.
Did come out in 2009
Brad,
as Enter the Void.
You unfairly removed a movie that did come out in 2011 from your list because you didn't see the movie until 2011. That's my problem with it.
I thought these were the movies that we enjoyed seeing this year, and I saw
No. These are the movies that we enjoyed
as the
seeing
director's cut,
from
which
this
was
year.
released this year.
I hate you.
I saw it on January 24th of 2011.
So maybe we should roll the trailer.
Do you remember that pact we made?
Kind of.
We promised to never leave each other.
Never ever.
Never ever. And if you die, I'll come back.
Do you know that tomorrow is the anniversary of Mom and Dad's death?
Tibetan Book of the Dead? I'm assuming it's about death.
It tells you how your spirit comes out from your body after you die. At first you can see all your life reflected in a magic mirror. And then you see these lights, all these different lights, of all different colors.
Alex is gonna make you a junkie.
I know I'm not a junkie. Come on.
He's not your friend. We're gonna be like family from now on. Just you and me.
I have a gun, I'm gonna shoot!
Do you remember that pact we made? We promised to never leave each other, no matter what.
So
Man,
wait, what?
I
fuck is that
forgot.
movie
I
about?
forgot how obnoxious that trailer is. Wow.
So, what's the movie about, Brad?
Just about
quickly.
drugs.
The movie is about this kid, he's running drugs in Japan, and he gets caught, killed, and then basically the rest of the movie is his perspective of all the lives he's surrounded by, and he follows like his sister's life after he's dead, and his drug dealing friend's life after, and then all these other interconnecting side characters. He basically floats around and spies on everyone for
How does he do that?
2
since
hours.
He's dead?
He's like a ghost.
Yeah,
He's a ghost.
It's a
ghost. Yeah.
There are drugs. People on drugs made movies about drugs.
Looks interesting. I'll never see it.
Does it look interesting? Yeah, you'll never see it.
I'll never see it.
I kept meaning to see it back a year ago, or a little over a year ago when it came out, and I just never got around to it. I probably will. I still think that.
I don't know, I have a hard
I
time
think
with-
that trailer's obnoxious.
I have a hard time with movies like that. Like, I don't like Train Spotting and stuff because
Yeah.
it's that goofy kind of drug stuff. But
Yeah.
Well, that's not why I like it. It's on my list because, like, I don't really love the movie, but it's stuck with me because it's so bizarre
Like
and
abrasive.
like there's parts where it's really boring, like super boring. But then there's other parts that you think as a filmmaker, like, how did they do this? Because
Yeah.
the
even
movie
in-
is
even in-
almost one continuous shot
Yeah.
because it's through his eyes like the whole time after he dies.
Even in
So-
the trailer, there are things where like they'll do things. I'm like, wait, how did they get that shot? Like, how
Yeah.
did they? Yeah.
You
It
know, he
is weird.
floats up like up in the air like airplane height, and he goes through walls and like it seems like one whole scene is being acted out all at once. So like the way when he enters another room, you know, these characters who you just saw at like this club are now back at their apartment, and like you remember the conversation, and then like it seems like it picks up where it ended and starts over again. It's just a very bizarre experience, and kind of like it's something that you haven't seen before.
It won a lot of technical awards last year.
Yeah. So, but
Did you hear what he just said? All right. Anyway, my point's good.
Congratulations, it won awards. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Like I said, I'll check it out eventually. That's cool.
Yeah.
cool. I love different movies except for that one.
So
there
are
was
we on
looked
the-
like there's nudity in it, so that might be a selling point.
There's a lot of nudity. There's
is
a
there?
giant CGI penis.
Oh,
which I think
that's
you'll
not
enjoy.
that's not the kind. That's not the kind of
So suck it, James. You're
Dun, 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 dun.
Do you want to see that ticket again?
Well,
it's right here.
My number 10 is a movie from this year, actually. The Adventures of Tintin.
Years ago, secure the cargo. A power that could have changed the course of history was lost. Generations have searched for it.
Snowy, look at this. It was long claimed the ship was carrying a secret cargo.
But no one has found a clue. Until now.
The model ship conceals a clue to one of the greatest secrets in all history.
I warning you. Get out while you still can. These people do not play nice.
I will find that ship, with or without your help.
Thanks. I'm Tintin, by the way.
Haddock. Archibald Haddock. Someone's locked the door.
The key, Snowy. Not the sandwich. The keys.
How could you let them escape?
If Sakharine finds the ship before we do, it's over.
This isn't just a ship. Yours vengeance.
Tintin,
look.
This may sound crazy, but I've got a plan.
Excellent.
Did you hit anything?
Oh dear.
Run! We're not there yet! No!
You looked a little cold, so I lit a wee fire.
In a boat? Well, this is a fine mess.
Nice.
Yeah, this was a movie like it sort of teetered on the edge because as much fun as I had with this movie, it wasn't a movie that really sort of hit my soul the way that I usually want the movies on my top 10 to be, which we will get to later. But it was still so much fun. It was fun to see, the way that movie shot. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we talked about this a couple weeks ago. But seeing Steven Spielberg sort of Unchained and what that means was really interesting.
Yeah, it was
a whole lot
cool.
of fun. And I've gotten into reading the books, and I see Ryan has too.
I have.
And so that was kind of cool
books
too.
are good.
They are. They're really fun.
It's like really fun. Like I was reading it. I mean, I have the one where he dresses up like a black guy and gets drunk and gets shot at, and it's pretty interesting. So
yeah, it's cool. Anyway, that's my Tintin.
So yeah, The Adventures of Tintin. I was teetering on with me because I think it's the best animated movie of the year, and it was.
I don't.
I know you don't, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a cool movie.
It was funny when you say that because I had a hard time because it looks so good.
It does.
That I had the other animated movie on my list. I kept trying to move it around and figure it's just hard to move. Get everything situated right. So
nice. I like the surprise one. So we all had surprises at number 10.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Brad from a year ago, and me and James from this year.
This year. This is this year. I saw this this year. I have proof right there.
All right. Anyway.
On
to our number 9s.
Number 9. My number 9 is... Drum roll, are you getting the sound effect?
Yeah, it's happening right now.
Oh, that's awesome. My number 9 is Fright Night.
Hey, Mom.
Hey, just checking in. What you up to?
Adam Johnson. Adam?
You know Adam's missing, right? Right, kids aren't coming to school. It happens all the time. I don't know if you were paying attention to roll call, but he's not the only one that's gone. You're nuts.
This is my son, Charlie, and his girlfriend.
Hi. So Jerry is our new neighbor.
Hey. Hey. Now listen to me. We graphed up all the disappearances. That's you right there in the center, next to his house. I really hate to be the one to tell you this, but that guy, your neighbor... Jerry. Yeah, he's a vampire. That is a terrible vampire name. Jerry?
Hey, guy. You've been watching me. I've been watching you. Your mom, there's a kind of neglect, gives off a scent. And your girl, she's ripe. It's on you to look out for them, because there are a lot of bad people out there, Charlie.
What's that?
I'm gonna end him or he's gonna end me. That's how it's gonna be.
that? It's your fear.
Did I kill him?
Hopefully.
This movie was awesome.
Oh man!
Another one of the surprises for me. I actually got more on board with the movie when I found out who was making it and who it was written by.
Absolutely.
And then when you see Colin Farrell's character in it, is amazing. Actually, one of my favorite scenes from this year was when he was trying to borrow beer from Charlie.
Yes.
And he was, he couldn't cross the threshold, but it still had that tension in it.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's amazing.
It's funny now that we think about it. That should have been my biggest surprise of the year because I am so not a horror guy, and so going into that movie, I was like, okay, this is the one that they went to see Transformers. I'm gonna go see this movie that I it'd be fun, whatever. And then I walked out and it was some of the most fun I had all year. I actually texted Ryan earlier this week. We tried not to talk about our lists with each other, beyond what we needed to. But I texted Ryan and I was like, "Is Fright Night on your list? Because I want to talk about it, but I just can't get it on there, and it's killing me." It ended up as my 13, but I was really trying to get it to number 10 instead of 10. I was trying so hard.
Yeah, that's to me that's shocking for you because I know you do not like horror movies at all. And
I keep meaning to buy it. It'll probably be the first actual horror movie that I own. But
and that's cool, and that's why I think it speaks to me too. And it was fun. The movie's fun.
Oh, absolutely.
And I enjoyed it, and I love Colin Farrell. And I think if the movie was more well respected, which it should be. I mean, it got good reviews, but
yeah,
he'd be nominated for best actor in a movie. I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was awesome in it.
Yeah, he was.
Anything
really,
to add, Brad?
really
no,
well
I didn't
written.
see Fright Night, so
You didn't?
Oh,
No.
you weren't there with us?
No.
Oh, shoot! You should totally check it out because you actually like horror movies.
Some horror movies.
You like more horror movies than I like.
I'm not as big a fan as he is, but
well, yeah, no, I know.
I do
but what
enjoy
I'm
Friday
saying,
13th
yeah,
and Saw and stuff.
you're a bigger fan than I am.
Yeah.
It's that's a fun movie.
It is. It's cool, and you don't need to see it in 3D. No, I didn't see it in 3D, but whatever.
No. Well, it was post conversion. Nobody needed to.
But yeah, it's some great moments. So, Brad, number 9.
Number 9.
Here we go. Envelope number 9.
This is from 2006.
Children of Men.
I guess it could be considered last year because it did come out in Japan first. It's Evangelion 2.0. You cannot advance. Which was released this year in America.
All right. God damn it, Red.
So, I just have to ask, what is the appeal? I never got into anime, so I never understood what's so cool about it, and why did you like this movie?
Well, it's not necessarily it's anime. I liked the show growing up, even though I was in college when I first saw it.
Yeah.
It's very hard to follow, but the action's really cool and the animation is really cool. It's on my list because these movies are a remake of the show in 4 parts, and this is the second part. And the first one I saw a couple years ago when it came out, and it was an updated version of the first 4 episodes of the show. This came out, and I watched it, and for about the first third of the movie, it's just a cleaner, better, tighter version of the show. And then it totally veers off on a different tangent and becomes a totally different thing. It's not like the show anymore at all. It's like an alternate universe version of the show.
Was.
And so something I kind of thought I was going to go in and relive is suddenly a cool remake of the
Yeah.
show. So it's on my list because I was
And that's
surprised that something
cool.
I expected to kind of just, I already know what's going to happen, and they totally throw it on its side, and
Yeah.
I'm engaged in this new thing that's based on this
It's
thing
the
I
kind
already
of,
enjoyed.
It's always been the kind of anime that I have a hard time with because like there's some that I really enjoy. You're the sort of what the hardcore people would call the mainstream, foo-foo, like the Cowboy Bebops and stuff like that. That I think
Cowboy
are
Bebop's good.
really well written, fun stories. That then the fact that it's anime is sort of just instrumental to where it comes from, not necessarily part of the genre. Whereas Evangelion is really part of the anime genre, where there's just fucking weird shit in there sometimes. And so that's why I always have a hard time with it.
Half of the show is very cerebral. It's almost like reading a book that's a study on the consciousness,
Naked Lunch,
like in existence, and then there's the other half of it, robots fighting.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Yes, I enjoy the robots fighting part more than the Shinji inside his own head trying to figure out what his place in the world is.
And the animation on a movie like that, a big budget movie, is always really pretty. So I can understand how you'd ended up having it on your list.
They've updated the animation, and it looks fantastic.
Cool.
Like, there's cel-shaded animation compared to the old show, which is completely hand-drawn, I think. So, yep, that's why that's on there. So that's my 9. What's your 9, James?
Well, my number 9 was actually my number 10, and then I watched it again the other day, and I was like, nope, this has to be 9 now. And my number 9 is a movie we didn't see. It's a movie called The Help.
Sorry I'm late.
We didn't ever think you'd leave Ole Miss.
It does take 4 years, Jolene. I got a job today, writing for the Jackson Journal.
Great. You can write my obituary. Charlotte Phelan, dead. Her daughter, still single.
Does this dress look handmade?
I reckon when you finish it won't.
Thank you.
She look like the winning horse at the Kentucky Derby.
I have drafted the Home Health Sanitation Initiative.
The what?
A bill that requires every white home to have a separate bathroom for the help.
Maybe we should just build you a bathroom outside, Haley.
Minnie? Hey, Abilene.
Hey, Minnie. These women raise white children. We love them, and they love us, but they can't even use the toilets in our houses.
Minnie, are you in there?
You are fired! You said to write about what disturbs me, particularly if it bothers no one else. I'd like to write something from the point of view of the help. I want to interview you.
No maid is ever going to tell you the truth. That's a hell of a risk to take in Jackson, Mississippi.
Courage isn't just about being brave. It's about overcoming fear and daring to do what is right for your fellow man.
What changed your mind?
God. And Miss Haley Holbrook.
I'm gonna help with your stories. We all are.
Y'all brought me into this, but I'm gonna finish it.
Have you lost your mind?
No, ma'am. But you about to.
It's quite scandalous. Sounds like Jackson, if you ask me.
You tell Abilene. Do I have plans for her?
You a godless woman. We gonna done it now.
So here's the thing. This movie should be... No, I'll go the other way. This movie is what all of the really crumbly family dramas want to be. This is what The Blind Side wants to be. Yes, it's about race and it's about all this stuff, but it's really at its core, it's a historical piece. It's got really well-written characters at the center of it, and it's written in a way that is, in my mind, ethical enough that it's aware of the issues that it's dealing with and the standpoint that it's coming from. And what I mean by that is, too often there are movies like this that are like, oh, here is black people in a bad situation, and here's this white person who comes in, speaks for them, and gets them out of it. And this movie is very much not that. And the writers obviously know that, and there's even a scene that gets at that idea.
I was gonna say, because that was like one of the biggest fears I remember reading about what people were saying is it's a story about black people told through the point of view of a white person, and why you have to have a white person always say it. So it's interesting they say that they kind of get around that.
They specifically address that issue in the movie. I mean, it's not that obvious. If you know to look for it, you go like, oh man, they have, and it's a couple things. First of all, the fact that Emma Stone's character Skeeter is always very humbled by the other women in the movie. So the truth is, I wouldn't even compare this to like The Blind Side. I would compare this to more like Steel Magnolias or those sort of women movies. That are all actually really fantastic, and if you get a chance to check them out, they're really good. Fried Green Tomatoes is another one. So yeah, this movie is really fantastic. I was moved by a scene in one of the special features on the disc that I watched the other day, because Tate Taylor was telling the story, the director and the screenwriter is telling the story about how nobody wanted to make this movie with him as the director. He's actually close friends with the woman who wrote the book, and they grew up together. Nobody wanted him to be the director. He directed like one feature and one short film, and then Steven Spielberg comes in and talks to them, and then is like, yeah, no, you get to be the one. And that moment where I was like, Steven is always the guy who stands up for those guys and is like, no, you can do this. Absolutely, anybody can do this, And I was just so moved.
I just watched the Back to the Future, and he did the same thing where they couldn't get financing for it, and he's like, well, Steven Spielberg says we can do it, and
Spielberg is so cool.
He's like the hero of movies, isn't he?
Oh, and he was a big deal this year, man.
He was.
But anyway, that's my number 9, and you should really check it out. I know there's a lot of stigma around it. And you're going to have some preconceived notions about it, but
I'll say just because it has Emma Stone in it.
Yeah,
this is true. Yeah, absolutely.
Love Emma Stone.
I think you'll be really pleasantly surprised. And also, this year, Bryce Dallas Howard decided she's only going to play hardcore bitches in every movie she's in, and it's great because she's good at it. Anyway, that's my number 9.
Lovely. My number 8 is the God of Thunder, Thor.
Sir, we found it.
Government agencies have now cordoned off the area and are
Jane, I think you want to see this. You alright?
You dare threaten me, Thor, with so puny a weapon?
What? He was freaking me out. Where did he come from? Name?
He said it was Thor?
For a crazy homeless person, he's pretty cut.
How'd you get inside that cloud?
Also, how could you eat an entire box of Pop-Tarts and still be this hungry?
Just drink, I like them. Another!
This is going on Facebook. Smile.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science. Well, I come from a place where they're one and the same.
But who are you, really?
You'll see soon enough.
God, I hope you're not crazy.
Do you swear to guard the lives of the innocent and preserve the peace?
I swear.
I will destroy their kind.
You can't kill an entire race
and die with them.
These people are innocent. I have no plans to die today.
Your actions would unleash.
So yeah, this was one of the movies I saw that a Marvel movie I was actually most concerned about.
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
The scope of it's so big, the mythology behind it's so big,
and it's cosmic.
Exactly,
it's a cosmic story.
And if you want to know how to tell a cosmic story properly, not like Green Lantern, the Thor is a perfect example of
this movie. I said it before. This movie totally ate Green Lantern's lunch.
Yeah,
because it was just like, oh yeah, this is how you do this, and it's amazing.
It is. It's an amazing movie, and Chris Hemsworth's really good in it as Thor. And
Anthony Hopkins as
Odin. And Tom Hiddleston as Loki. I mean, the whole cast is amazing in it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And, I found out after I watched the movie, after I saw it again on Blu-ray, I went back and I read Loki's story from the Marvel Universe Encyclopedia. It is exactly the same as it is in Thor. It's like Loki's story. It's so it's kind of cool that they followed it verbatim, basically.
Yeah. And that it actually works.
Yeah,
like
totally
telling
works.
that story on film as like a Shakespearean drama, which is what Kenneth Branagh brings to it. Is like, all right, I'm going to tell this as a serious drama. It totally works. I mean, that movie is amazing. I was moved by scenes in a superhero movie. It's insane. We talked about it on the podcast, but the scene where, or maybe we didn't. Did we do this episode? This movie?
We did.
We did.
Oh, okay, yeah. The scene where Loki finds out that he's actually a frost giant and he fights with Odin is amazing. Like those are great performances in a superhero movie.
It is. Pleasantly surprised.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I was scared by it too.
Yeah.
So many hopes were laid on the Avengers. 3 movies before we were in there that I thought, oh man, how are they going to pull off Thor? And honestly, it's my favorite Marvel movie.
Nice.
Yeah.
More than like Spider-Man or something?
No, of the Marvel Avengers movie. I mean, like the Spider-Man movies are not Marvel Studios movies. No, it's Thor. I like Thor more than Iron Man. Absolutely.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so made my list because it's awesome.
It made my list too.
Anyways, Brad,
what's your number?
Number 8.
Let's see.
Pause for dramatic effect.
These cards are killing me. It's so good.
It's awesome.
My number 8 is Red State.
Nice.
You know what? So is mine, Brad.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah,
Let's team up on this one, James.
I know. This is how we do this. When we have the same number, we do it together.
Interesting.
Yeah, mine is Red State as well. Oh, so we haven't played the trailer. Here we go.
See the face of Jesus on my way tonight. He says to me, old sinner, come on in. I see the face of Jesus in that great white light. My Savior makes me whole again. In his shining eyes, I see the promise of all forgiveness to set you free. I see the face of Jesus on my way this night. And my Savior is there to comfort me. I fear God. You better believe I fear God.
Yeah.
I didn't put it on my top 10 because I was hoping you guys would put it in there.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
This is the one where you're like, this should be here, but I got to get something else in there. Yeah, I did some of those too. Yeah, man, Red State was just... It was too good.
It's mostly on my list because of... part of the enjoyment of movies sometimes is the way you see them, and we saw it in a very special way.
We did.
Absolutely.
The first time. But
Even
beyond
coming
that,
over to
too,
my house, seeing it wasn't as special as seeing it with Kevin Smith.
Nope.
What a
No, it
dick.
wasn't.
Very.
What row were you in? You were in like the 3rd or 4th row, right?
Yeah, I got closer than you guys, but
Oh,
I mean,
man.
not that much closer.
Yeah.
But,
I asked him a question. That was
you
pretty
did.
dope.
You asked him the longest answered question.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Awesome. But yeah, that movie... It's part of why it's on my list, which I think is what you were about to say, was that it is such a sharp turn for a director like that, and to have him do such a cool job.
After 9 movies, he's finally taken the leap of faith and did something different,
artsy and dramatic, and he had enough confidence in himself.
And granted,
to be like,
he's got a lot of help from David Klein, who's
grown
a lot more than Kevin Smith has in his career as a director of photography. But still, that Kevin Smith is kind of taking a left turn and trying something different. It's very brave and
and he does things in that movie as a writer that I respect quite a bit because there are things. He breaks so many rules writing that movie, that it shouldn't work. That movie shouldn't function properly. And yet, at the end of the movie, you're still like, oh, yeah, no, we gotta... This is what we're doing now. This is where we are. And you realize that where you are now and the characters you're with are completely different. And you care about different things. And it causes you to sort of bring into question the preconceived notions about the issues that the movie is dealing with. It causes you to look at those things a little bit differently. I, growing up as a Christian and being one now still, I have a very different relationship with that movie than probably most people do, because it's dark and twisted, and like there's a part of me that is totally ashamed of everything that Aben Cooper says in that movie, because I'm just like, no, you fucked it up. Like, you totally fucked this up. And yet at the same time, to know that it's also in the real world just makes it so dirty, and you just hate watching it sometimes. And yet at the same time, Michael Parks is so good that you love watching it the whole time.
The bad guy you love to hate,
Absolutely,
love to hate. Yeah.
You know, it's unbelievable that he could even pull that off.
To me, it was like a Coen Brothers movie, especially how it ended. And that's like, some people were complaining about how it ended, but it was one of my favorite parts of the movie, where it just ended and they had John Goodman's character talking to the other FBI agents about what went down and how they got out.
Wasn't my favorite part of the movie, but
I thought that was. I think when he said some people complained about the ending, I think he was thinking of you. It's really fantastic.
I like this. The cell block scene is a great way to actually really wrap it up.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was creative.
Sorry, no, you go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in the movie is creative, like the way they kill some of the people. Like, there was a story on the podcast about having to have a ram's head built, and it was going to cost most of their special effects budget. And I think the way that they'd use the saran wrap as a cheaper, cost-effective solution is actually a little more really sick and twisted and more interesting to watch.
Absolutely.
And then, the movie is so unnerving in a lot of places because he breaks so many rules and keeps you on your toes and guessing, like, where is this going? And, you don't get to follow any one character throughout the whole movie. It's all these things.
Well, he also said he didn't want anybody to be safe, and you wanted people to be uncomfortable, and he did a really good job.
You totally feel that way, Like, people... He even goes so far as to, when you get comfortable with the idea that he's going to keep reintroducing characters and killing some of them off, he'll then introduce people like Kevin Pollak, and you think, oh, he's going to be a character now. And then he dies 2 seconds in, and you're like, wait, how did you just shoot Kevin Pollak, It's unbelievable that he did the whole movie on weed, honestly. Yeah. Because at a certain point I'm going, wow, how did he craft all of this so well?
And I think they shot in like a month too.
Yeah.
A month. So it was fast. It was way low budget, and
it's also partially on my list because of the way that he shot it and the way he distributed it and all of that stuff that was so indie, like indie beyond what indie means now. Indie has become a mainstream thing now, and he was like, no, I am part of what born this whole generation of indie film, and I'm going to take it back to its roots in a way that even the Coen brothers I don't think could really do it that way. So it was really cool, and obviously seeing it with him there.
Yeah, man, it was an amazing experience.
Absolutely. So those were our 8s.
Crazy 8s. Yeah, I did it, guys. I did.
Oh man, you're not gonna say your 7 is Red State, are you?
No.
Okay.
Onward to round 7.
The most important person in this podcast, number 7, is Crazy Stupid Love.
25 years of marriage and you have nothing to say? I'll just say it. I slept with someone.
If you keep talking, I'm going to get out of the car.
I think the fact that I did it, it just shows how broken we are. Okay. How much we really... Oh my God! Help!
You're getting a divorce?
Yeah.
Amy heard you crying in the bathroom. We all thought it was cancer.
Oh.
Thank God, man.
Yeah, just my relationship.
Hi, can I buy you a drink?
Uh-huh.
Let's get out of here. Want to get out of here? What are you doing later?
I don't know.
I do. There's lots of beautiful women in this bar, but I can't take my eyes off of you.
It's time to go home.
Oh, it's forward of you, but okay.
Yeah.
Should I pull the car around? Have you been drinking? I'll drive.
Hey, ladies man guy. Any tips of the trade?
Your wife cheated on you because you lost sight of who you are as a man. Let's talk about how many women you've been with. Sexually? Yeah, no. I mean breakdance fighting.
One.
No, not at one time. You gotta take control of your manhood, pal.
Can you put on some clothes, please?
Oh, I'm sorry, is this bothering you?
No, it's not.
Cal, my schwanz is in your face for 20 minutes. If it's not bothering you, we got a bigger problem.
Looking at me, look at that.
I want to show you off to my ex-wife to make her really jealous. Oh, man.
I met a girl, and she is a game changer.
She's your soulmate, right? Go get her back.
Wow, how old are you?
I'm in love with her, and I don't know what to do about it.
I don't know when you and I stopped being us. You know, when I told you that I had to work late, I really went to see the new Twilight movie by myself. And it was so bad.
I should have fought for you.
Take off your shirt.
Why?
Will you take off your shirt? Seriously? It's like you're photoshopped.
I'm really glad you got this on your list because I didn't.
No, I'm not usually too big of a fan of romantic comedies. I mean, I have a few and I enjoy some of them, but to me, this is the romantic comedy that I don't know how to describe it, but it was different and it was funny, and you actually loved all the characters in it.
It's smarter.
Yeah,
It doesn't just pick up that same like cookie cutter storyline,
Yeah.
but give you some weird twist this time.
And it all had fun stuff. And one of my biggest fears when I went and saw it is in the trailer they show him talking to Julianne Moore, his wife, and they're sitting in the hallway, and he says, I should have fought harder for you. Like, really, they're showing the end of the movie in the trailer, but that's like in the middle of the movie.
Yeah.
And they kept on going on, and the reveal of who Emma Stone is fantastic, and Kevin Bacon was really good in it, even though he wasn't in it very much.
It's a movie that I kind of put in the same league as like High Fidelity, where it takes a sort of normal storyline that we've heard before, and then goes the next step. Like says, okay, well, here's what could be a happy story, where all these two people. They're dating, they get separated, and then in the end they come back together.
Yeah.
But then it adds in that last bit where it's like, no. In the real world, these people would have to actually deal with these issues and fix those before they could go on. And that's how I feel about that movie.
Yeah, and the movie's so cool, and it just makes you... I mean, if you already didn't love Emma Stone, I mean, she's amazing in it.
She is.
Every time I watch her, I'm just like, oh, she's so awesome.
Yeah.
If she could only be one of the most iconic characters ever in comic books, I'd be really happy. So yeah, I loved Crazy Stupid Love, and Steve Carell's amazing in it. And also too, they kind of change it. Usually, it's the woman who gets cheated on, and so they changed that. And there's also some harsh lines in it. When Steve Carell's moving out of the house, and she says, "When did we stop becoming us?" And he says, "Well, maybe it's when you started sleeping with." I forget the Kevin Bacon character's name, and it's a really goofy name.
Yeah.
And then there's nothing to say after that, and there's that really uncomfortable moment, and he's right. I mean,
yeah. Well, but at the same time, like there are also things that Steve Carell's characters and other characters say that are the wrong thing to say.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
they make mistakes and don't just say things that tie things together. They are obviously mad and say the wrong thing, and they hurt each other, and you're like, oh, okay, well, but that's how people are. Sometimes. Whoa. Hello,
Sorry.
TV. No, you're good.
What the hell?
Which one do you want? Have a TV.
Just
All
turned
right.
off. Sorry.
No, it's good.
To some porn music.
Sorry, guys. Here, let me put my pants back on. I'm sorry about that. All right.
So yeah, that's why I enjoyed the movie. It was just different, and it was cute, and it was funny.
And a surprise.
Yeah,
for sure.
So yeah, that was my number 7. Brad?
I haven't seen it yet, so I think I'm gonna have to have The Help, Crazy Stupid Love party some weekend.
What was the other Emma Stone movie this year? You'll have to watch that one too.
The Help? I just said that.
No, I'm sure there was another one. There had to be 3 or 4 Emma Stone.
Oh, she
movies.
was in Friends with Benefits, wasn't she?
No, she was in the. No, yeah, no, she's in Friends with Benefits. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
she wasn't billed well. All right.
I think it's just a cameo.
Well, she's in. Yeah, she's a cameo. She shows up and talks about how much she really likes. Who's that guy who sings that song about
John
your body
Mayer.
is a wonder? Yeah, she shows up and says she likes John Mayer, and then she's gone. So that's the whole movie. Yeah.
All right, my number 7.
Your number 7
is 50-50.
Nice.
You have cancer?
They found it yesterday.
They found it yesterday? Who found it?
My cleaning lady found it in the back of my jeans. Who do you think found it?
You're young. Young people beat cancer all the time. Every celebrity beats cancer. Guy from Dexter, Lance Armstrong, he keeps getting it.
Oh, so you're my shrink. How old are you?
24?
So what are you, like Doogie Howser?
Who?
Teenage doctor?
Does he work here?
I'm moving in. No, Mom, no.
I'm your
Sorry,
mother,
Mom.
Adam.
But exactly.
Don't do it!
I thought you said you liked to do it.
Look weird.
Come on, let's just do it. What do you use this for?
They're body trimmers, so. What is that?
Hello?
Hey, it's Adam.
What's going on?
She's probably having a nervous breakdown.
What are your chances?
Instead of 50-50?
It's not that bad. You were a casino game, you'd have the best odds.
You really think that a girl's gonna go for me just because I have cancer?
For the millionth time, yes!
I have cancer.
I was wrong.
Nice
It
to meet
was
you.
weird. It's
Yeah,
weird like that.
no, that's
it's not.
too
It
soon.
doesn't sound cool.
50-50.
Nice head. Can I touch it?
You can do more than touch it.
Very cool. It's a good choice.
Who knew cancer could be funny?
And also touching. And
touching.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
People already knew that, but and sad. And
we talked about this one on the podcast. It's a well-balanced movie.
It's surprising like that movie can be that funny and like that vulgar and
yeah,
like that kind of comedy. But it's just a smartly written and Seth Rogen's kind of like such a big personality now that you think he'd overshadow the whole movie, but he doesn't. He's very like when he's in his scene, he does what he's got to do, and
that character is more than just like it's more than just Seth Rogen.
Yeah, he's not just like a comic relief. He's actually got some weight to
because that movie ends up really being sort of about the main character's relationship with him, and that's it. It lays a lot on. Seth Rogen could easily have done his like, "Hey, this time I'm the cop who's funny." Yeah, he could have done that and just laughed a lot, but he does a whole lot more. It's funny because actually, that's the same. That is also true in Green Hornet, which anyway, that movie's really good.
Yeah, my favorite scene in that movie is when he storms in on
calls out
Bryce
Dallas
Howard, and
that's
you fucking bitch.
Oh man,
it's like. If something like that has ever happened to you, like you wish you had a friend there that could do that for you.
Because a lot of times too in movies, when the friend finds out, the friend, should I tell him or not? He just doesn't barge in and calls him out.
He's like, "Oh, buddy, I'm sorry. That sucks. Let's." And
it's funny that you bring that up because it's actually this movie is on my list too, but not yet. And part of it is because that scene and that storyline with Bryce Dallas Howard is more complicated than it needs to be. And more realistic because of it. Like they could have easily made her like this bitch who treats him like shit and then leaves. But the truth is, the way that it's written, you sympathize with her as she does it. She's leaving him at a time that's worst in his life. But at the same time, you're like, yeah, this would be really hard on her too. It's unfair of her to think of herself that way. But you're like, okay, no, like you're still shitty, and what you're doing is shitty. But I know why.
Yeah, but also too, he gave her like the shitty things, like you can leave if you want. And then if she left, she'd be like,
exactly. Like he puts her in weird situations where you're like, I understand that.
But that's where you're right, where it comes like where it's true to life. Because I mean, if you got diagnosed with cancer, you're about to die, and you told someone who you were dating, you can go, you don't have to stay here because I might not make it. I mean, what would that person do? They'd say, "Oh, I'm not going to leave." I mean, that'd be fucked up. But then it'd be really hard on them. I mean, it's really interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then Joseph Gordon-Levitt, like.
It's amazing.
His portrayal in his relationship with Anna Kendrick's character, like how she calms him through, like she's completely inexperienced. She's probably less experienced on how to deal with his situation than his current girlfriend, but somehow she weathers through it. Yeah, it's just.
And she has great boobs. I didn't know she had great boobs until that movie.
Anna Kendrick makes me swoon.
She does. She's great.
Yeah. That is a movie that's like a sort of romantic comedy where two of my favorite people in Hollywood fall in love. So I love that movie.
It is a great movie.
Yeah. My number 7?
James, your number 7.
My number 7. What is my number 7? I don't remember. Oh, my number 7 is a movie you guys didn't see. My number 7 is my favorite animated movie of the year, Rango.
Did you see that?
What do you think, Doc?
This hawk
is dead.
Circle of life. Who exactly are you?
Name's Rango.
What is this?
That there's Rango. He ain't afraid of none of you.
Is that right?
Oh. Take care of that for you. All better.
You see them, Mr. Rango? People have to believe in something. Pick it up. Your destiny awaits.
You are going to save us, aren't you?
Count on it, little sister.
Sheriff, we got a problem.
This is my town.
They done taken everything we got.
So you want something to believe in? Believe in that there sign. For as long as it hangs there, we got hope. Whatever you do, do not look down.
Whoa!
All right, now listen. I'm gonna give you fellas one last chance to reconsider.
Make your move.
Hold on, don't worry, I got a plan. Help! Open the door! Okay, plan B.
Rango's a weird movie. I can't tell everybody to see Rango. And I will say this, not for kids. I saw it in the theater. Most of the kids were bored and running around. But it's really cool.
See, you know what's funny is I was going to watch that movie this week. I really was. I was at Redbox. It was there. I was going to get it. I'm like, I just cannot get this. For some reason, it just doesn't interest me.
Yeah.
I really should have saw it. See, I mean,
it's really,
and the messed up part is because now Redbox is $1.20. I'm like, I'm not paying $1.20 for this movie.
Oh man, you should totally check it out. There's a couple of things. First of all, I think that story-wise, it's really fun and inventive and fresh. Like, it's not like other sort of kids animated movies. There's a lot of like referential stuff in there, but the big thing is that it's the first fully animated movie by Industrial Light and Magic. They've never done like they're well known for their CG. Sure. They've been doing amazing CG forever, but this is the first time that they did like a kids film, where the whole thing is animated. It's animated animals and stuff like that, and it's really beautiful. Like, there are times, yes, Tintin also looks really good, but this movie is surprisingly beautiful. Just in both the vistas and the way the characters are designed. Like, the characters are still goofy animal kind of characters, but the attributes on those characters are sometimes photorealistic. Like, maybe here's this character and he's like a mole, right? And so he's he's an animated mole as far as his dimensions and everything are concerned, but his mole nose that he has looks like a fleshy, hairy, ugly mole nose. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a dressed up, like, cartoonish exaggeration of a mole. Like,
well, it is in that the shape of the character and all of that is still like a cartoony version of that.
But it's not like Disney where they throw big eyes on it so people.
No.
Easier.
No, some of them have big eyes. That's not what I'm saying. I mean, I mean, Rango, or no, not Rango, but the other lizard in the movie has pretty big eyes. Like, they're still caricatures of animals. They're still anthropomorphized animals, but the attributes on those animals, like there's one guy who's like a bird character, right? And he doesn't actually look that much like a bird. He's just very feathery, but his feathers look like real feathers. They move like real feathers. That's what I'm saying. Okay. You see what I mean? Like, it's the attributes on the characters that look realistic. And so just for the animation standpoint, I think you need to see it. But it's also just really fun and different. And Johnny Depp is really good. So, anyway.
Yeah, I wanted to see it when it came out, but it just slipped under my radar, and I didn't get to do it. But yeah, just from the trailer alone, like the animation, I wanted to see it really bad. So
yeah, and another one of the surprises for the year for me, because I didn't really have a lot of expectation, and then I just knew like weird stuff was going to happen because like the trailer has a floating wind-up fish in it and stuff like that. And I was like, what the heck is going on? And then when you find out what those characters are, you're like, this is awesome, you know? This character is insane. Because that's part of it. Rango as a character is insane in his head. Because the idea is as simple as, here's this lizard who's probably been in a cage, like in a glass box his whole life. So he has gone flippin' insane. And then he gets free and now is in this town with real animals and creates this sort of character for himself, and it's too much fun. Anyway, so you guys should see it. That's my 7.
I will when it's streaming for free.
I will lend you the Blu-ray.
All right, cool. So then
there we go.
Then I'll watch it.
All right.
My number 6 is my favorite superhero movie of the year, and it's Captain America.
I know this neighborhood. I got beat up in that alley.
You just don't know when to give up. I could do this all day.
Do you have something against running away?
You start running, they'll never let you stop. You really gonna do this now?
There are men laying down their lives. I got no right to do any less than them.
I can offer you a chance.
Our goal is to create a new breed of super soldiers.
When you brought a 90-pound asthmatic onto my army base, I let it slide.
I am looking for qualities beyond the physical.
You win wars with guts.
Grenade! Everybody down!
Is this a test? He's still skinny.
Whatever happens, stay who you are. Not just a soldier, but a good man.
Is it too late to go to the bathroom?
You actually did it.
Who the hell are you? The boss of many.
Hydra is the Nazi Deep Science Division, led by Johann Schmidt.
He thinks he's a god, and he's willing to blow up half the world to prove it.
You're not even close to this technology.
I asked for an army, and all I got was you.
Congratulations. You just got promoted.
Mr. Stark?
I had some ideas about the uniform.
You're gonna get so many girls.
Captain, we are much alike. I don't know if I can do this.
You won't be alone.
What made you so special?
Nothing. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn.
Hey!
You're late.
Nobody's perfect.
I thought it was really fun, and watching it again, I enjoyed it even more. I liked Chris Evans' portrayal of Steve Rogers. I thought he did a really good job. I thought the movie was... I just thought the movie was fun, and I love capturing that sense of the Art Deco kind of style of the 40s. And, yeah, I don't know. And I loved, I just like Captain America as a character.
Absolutely.
And so I thought that they were able to pull it off was really cool. And, I mean, there's parts when... when he rescues all the Howling Commandos and stuff from the Hydra, and he's coming over the hill and they're all rallying. I like want to cheer. I'm like, yeah, go America. And
sometimes that movie is just good if the sound is off and you just see like Cap carrying the shield and you're like, yeah, fuck yeah, I agree. I just watched it a couple weeks ago because I got it for Christmas, and then it was better the second time. I still think there are some clunky bits in the middle where they choose to tell the Bucky story when I don't think they need to, but that alone is the reason it's not on my top 10 probably.
I liked it. It was my favorite superhero movie.
Oh, absolutely.
That was
no, it's not. It's actually if you look at it, that's actually my third favorite superhero movie of the year. It ends up being my 19th.
Wow.
Which
I'm surprised because you were such a big proponent of Captain America prior to the movie coming out, and yet it ended up on his list.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a couple things there. First of all, you could be saying that I overhyped it for myself and then was slightly disappointed that it was just good enough, which is probably true. Also, I wouldn't say that I was really, like, a proponent of it beforehand. It was really just that like Ryan was saying, the fact that I was getting to see someone in that outfit. What you're really getting at is the fact that for a while my Facebook profile was that image. That image.
I thought you were the bigger fan. So
that image of Captain America, of Steve Rogers in the World War II outfit with the triangle shield over on his back was awesome. Like, it doesn't, movie or not, like, that picture was just cool.
It's like putting the Batman shield on a black poster.
Absolutely.
June 18th
Yeah.
or whatever.
It just, as soon as you see it, you're just like, this is too cool. Anyway, so yeah, the movie's really good.
I think so too, and the way that they embodied Steve Rogers as a character and Captain America made him really endearing to me.
Yeah,
and I thought it was really cool.
Oh, and who is it? Mark Strong? No, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
Stanley Tucci as the Doctor is great.
That was the one really
he has
great
that
scene in the movie for me.
That scene just steals it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I know some people didn't like it, but I really enjoyed it.
No, that's what this is.
I liked it more than Thor, but
nah.
I did, James. You can't disagree with what I liked.
All right.
You don't know me, but yeah, I like the Bucky thing, and then the ending is very bizarre.
Yeah, that's the other thing. The ending
feel like its own thing.
Absolutely,
because obviously they're trying to tie it to the Avengers, and then the whole Tesseract. Like, why does it just fall through the ship? Anyway.
Well, that's like asking questions about why the ring does things. Like the Tesseract is treated as a sentient thing. Anyway, we talked about this on its own podcast.
Yeah.
So go Captain America.
Absolutely.
So I guess that makes my number 6.
What's your
next?
number 7, Brad?
7?
6.
6. Yeah, sorry.
Actually, I almost opened my number 1. My number 6 is Super 8.
I've got nothing against your friends. I like your friends. Well, things have obviously changed for us.
I have to help Charles finish his movie.
Be good for you to spend some time with kids who don't run around with cameras and monster makeup.
Could you close your eyes, please? Yeah.
And action! Guys, watch out!
An eastbound freighter derailed. What the cargo was on that freighter, we don't know.
We can't tell anyone.
I know.
I understand you have concerns about our cargo.
Colonel, there isn't anything else that I should know, is there?
I can assure you the answer is no.
We've gotten calls from people who have found local dogs, but the calls coming in aren't local.
Lucy!
It's like they all just ran away.
I've got property damage. I've got theft. I've got 9 people missing now. There are things happening around here that I can't explain.
We have to find this thing. I don't feel good about this.
Go! I saw it. No one believes me.
I believe you. What the hell?
Man, way to just kill it.
Way to just
Did I
kill
say your
it.
thunder on accident?
Oh, you stole all the thunder. Wow. What a movie.
We can wait and talk about it
No, it's all right.
later.
No,
I mean,
no.
I'm just saying it's my number 6 right now. We can hold off. Save.
No,
I
you're
sense
good.
that
No.
it's on your guys' list.
No, this is how it works.
I hope we steal his thunder later.
I don't think you will.
Oh, man.
Super 8. Like, I love Spielberg movies, and this is
This isn't one.
It's not one, but
Yeah.
it's a homage to that. And
Absolutely.
I just miss watching movies with that kind of style. Just that childish innocence.
And no, I like the wonderment of it.
Yeah, the wonderment of it.
My favorite thing about it is it still has that sense of what's going on, and everything's so innocent at the same time. It's innocent and they're growing up at the same time.
Absolutely.
And the movie's amazing.
It's a story that borrows from a lot of places for sure. The adventure is fun and the writing is good and the action scenes are great. But specifically that movie, those characters are more real and wonderful and heartfelt than maybe anything else that I saw this year. Like, I connected with those kids in a way that I would say I haven't even connected with a lot of kids in Spielberg movies. I mean, I've said this before, I'm not a big fan of E.T., just because it scared the piss out of me when I was a kid, and so this movie for me was that movie. It's absolutely amazing.
For me as an aspiring filmmaker, like, I wish I had a camera as a kid to do what they did.
Yeah.
And
I was
didn't,
the same
you know.
way. I was just envious.
So I'm living vicariously through the movie.
Absolutely.
But, and the performances in it, they were all amazing. I mean, you can start with,
absolutely.
Kyle Chandler as a dad, and even Charles, the filmmaking kid. I loved his character in the movie. I thought he was funny, but he's also kind of had that heartbreak because he's a little
tragic.
Yeah, there's real
it,
subtlety to what he's doing, even though he's like, not a B-list character in the movie. Like he's not one of the main characters necessarily, but some of the stuff that he has to get across is really integral to the emotional story that's going on, and he's able to just sort of do it in the background, like, oh yeah, I'm supposed to feel like this because this is what I'm doing, and you get it, like everything just works.
Yep, and then the zombie movie at the end was awesome.
Yeah.
Because I love that they started off as like really small kids, and then they cut it and they're
age as
older,
the movie goes on. Yeah,
absolutely.
So the movie was fantastic.
The other thing I
Elle
noticed
Fanning
is, like,
and Joel Courtney are both just amazing, and the scene that they have together with the film projector is a tour de force of child actors. I mean, it's one that people will talk when you're talking about casting kids in a movie. You will talk about this movie, and we should say, or I should say, that is in a lot of that's a lot due to J.J. Abrams. J.J. Abrams is particularly good at working with kids, and this movie, if filmed by someone else, if directed by somebody else, those kids would not have turned in as good of performances as they did, most likely, because he's amazing. I mean, anyway, what were you gonna say, Brad? I cut you off.
No, I'll leave it there.
Oh, okay.
James, what's your number 6?
My number 6 is Thor.
Nice.
We've already talked about it some. And this is the highest comic book movie, superhero movie on my list in total. X-Men is down at 18, just above Captain America. It's great. Like I said before, I feel like I could watch that movie every week. Because sure, there are things that are like simple about the fact that, like, oh, it's Thor, but he's in this little town. Like, those little aspects of it seem like they shouldn't work, but it's just fun for me.
I think they still work because of how arrogant that the character of Thor is.
Yeah.
So he's like, you can't control me. I'm too tough, and then he realizes that he's just a mortal, and that he's taken all his power is taken away, and all he has left is who he is as a person.
Yeah.
And that's the defining character moment for him, and I think that's why it works.
That stuff should come off as really corny, but it totally works for me.
It does. It works for me too. I think
I don't really feel like he earned his godhood back, though. Like
But he walks into the destroyer like the destroyer is there to kill him, and will destroy the town in order to do it. And he decides, like, I'm going to walk up to the destroyer and let it kill me.
Yeah, it's kind of
heroic sacrifice
because he falls in love with Natalie Portman. Which
seemed really forced.
Girls
anyway.
tame the beast.
Even though they didn't have really any significant scenes except for sitting on the rooftop.
Yeah, the sitting on the rooftop. How many do you need?
Anyway,
yeah.
My wife thinks that Thor's the gentleman who plays Thor, Chris Hemsworth, is too beautiful of a man to be real.
Well, Thor is a god, so
it would make sense.
Really.
Yeah, absolutely. You're in. Tell her he's photographed or
he's been
airbrushed.
Computer altered in it.
Yeah, Photoshop.
But I know he's dreamy. I'm okay with it.
All right, and on to our number 5s. We're moving through this.
My number 5 is probably going to steal Brad's thunder.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my number 5 is The Artist.
Actually, Ryan, you didn't steal my thunder because it is also my number 5.
Really? Wow, I thought you'd put it higher up there.
It was actually 6, and then I switched it with Super 8. So
too cool.
Not just now, earlier.
Yeah.
But anyway, the artist.
That's awesome. That's
and
awesome.
We went into great lengths last week talking about it.
Yeah,
so.
but the movie is fantastic, and
I miss these kinds of movies. So
it was different, and usually I don't like too many different things, but if it's told in a really clever way and the acting is amazing, which it is in this movie, especially because you can't act with talking.
Yeah.
Because it's literally a silent movie.
All facial expression and body language.
And it's one of those movies that it just charms the hell out of you while you're watching it, and you just go, yeah, go, and
very cool.
And I can point to, I have 2 favorite scenes. I love the scene where he just sees her legs and they're dancing, and then they mimic each other's dances. It's amazing. And then I love when his dog rescues him.
The other thing we actually didn't talk about last week is the Dick Van Dyke Show gag where she puts her arm through the coat and starts caressing herself like she's,
I forgot about that scene. That
being intimate with
awesome too.
The lead guy. But yeah, that was on the Dick Van Dyke Show when Rob's doing that gag, holding himself in the office. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's the whole movie is just fantastic.
Yeah, and it's very authentic. Like it feels and looks exactly like a movie from that era, and then it's really creative with the whole dream sequence that actually, for a silent film, inserts the sound effects.
But he can't talk.
Yeah, he can't talk.
But the sound effects. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's kind of meta because the movie is about him dealing with the advent of talkies. So he physically can't be verbal, but the world around him is changing. It's just creative, like world inside itself, playing on itself. It's
and it was a movie surprised me too. One, because sometimes when they our critics crown a movie as how great it is, and you miss movies like this. Sometimes I have a little apprehension going into them because it's stuff like Hugo, where critics loved it and I was really disappointed in it. But The Artist I thought was fantastic, and I think everybody should see it. And if it won Picture of the Year, I wouldn't be upset. I think it deserves it. So
very cool. It's too bad I didn't get to see it. I'll probably go in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I did it on just a whim because I got off work early and Laura was working, and I'm like, I'm going to see The Artist, and I just drove down there and watched it.
Too cool. Yeah. Where'd you see it? Greenwood Village?
No, Chez Artiste.
Oh, is it the Chez Artiste?
Chez Artiste.
I've still never been there. I feel like that's the dark, dirty one no one wants to go to.
It's all right.
I got the smallest theater at the Chez Artiste to see it in, which is basically like my TV at home almost.
Yeah.
But did you get?
Mine was. You came in and it was like directly in front of you.
You got the bigger theater.
Nice. Yeah. But even when I went there, I have a funny story. So I got there, and this was 3:15 showing, so I'm not expecting a lot of people there, and it's surprisingly kind of full. But everybody was kind of sitting in the back. I'm like, sweet. The first 4 rows in the theater, nobody was sitting at. So I went to like the second, third row, and I mean it was perfect because they have this huge area, and so I just had to sit back and relax, and then. Just before it started, I was still the only person there, and then 2 old people sat behind me, and some lady sat in front of me, and then someone sat right next to me. I'm like, really? All the things they sit right next to me?
Yeah.
Bizarre. And
you're just that.
I guess I'm that
magnetic.
Magnetic, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they're just going to sit next to me. But yeah, it was awesome. I think everybody should see it.
Yeah, everyone should see it.
Very charming.
Cool.
And I love his dog. What was his name? Uggy? Was the dog's name? I think it was Uggy.
Yeah, I think. That might actually be the real actor's name. I don't think the dog
has
a name.
It was Dog.
Yeah, it was Dog. Yeah,
his dog.
The actual actor's Uggy.
He loved his dog more than he loved his trophy wife.
All right,
James.
My number 5, right? Because yours were both.
Yeah, we
that's crazy.
Cool. Well, my number 5 is a movie we've already talked about. My number 5 was 50-50.
Nice. Again, it's
anything you want to add to
great.
it?
No, I mean we pretty much touched everything.
What's funny
is
every year we do this, as we start getting closer to the top, our lists start combining.
Yeah.
So it's kind of fun.
Cool. Yeah, absolutely. So, Brad, you're number 4. Or Brian, I mean. Brian,
you looked right at me and called me Brad.
Hey, you didn't.
My number 4 is the 4th film of this series. It's Mission Impossible 4.
Com check. We're live.
Target acquired.
What the hell is that?
Abort.
Ethan, what happened in the Kremlin?
It was a setup.
The Russians are classifying this as an undeclared act of war. The blame points to you and your team. The president has initiated Ghost Protocol. The entire IMF has been disavowed.
So what happens now?
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
The secretary is dead. The four of us are all that remains of the IMF. No safe house, no support or extraction. Everyone connected with this man is an asset with valuable information. We come back with our target, or we don't come back.
And how do you propose that we do that?
We take him out.
Yeah, we take her out, but, you know, discreetly.
Discreetly.
This operation's over before it even begins.
Would you care to explain yourself, Brandt?
Who are you really?
We all have our secrets. Don't we, Ethan?
Okay, this is a slight wrinkle. We're going to have to go into the server room from the outside.
We?
I'm on the computer.
I love this movie, and I just reiterates how awesome Tom Cruise can be, because the movie is full of action, and he is an action star and one of the best stars in Hollywood.
Brad, you look like you're about to do something. Your number 4 is not Mission Impossible 2, is it?
This movie was awesome too, and that's why it's also my number 4.
Hey!
So let's team up again, Ryan.
Yeah, totally.
Oh,
just so
you guys, you talked about your list before.
No, actually, just so
totally
our
coincidental.
listeners know, this is totally coincidental. I just picked this is how I listed them, and I didn't tell Brad because I was telling him that it's kind of more fun not to know what our list is.
Oh, absolutely.
And
Right.
so that we lined up 2 movies is pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that's
the last
pretty
times
crazy.
we've done this, like I've known what your guys' order is, so it's a little less fun for me to
Yeah.
reveal because I have to make the DVD. But you guys gave me the movie names, but you didn't tell me what order they were in, so
Yeah.
it was more interesting, like
Yeah, this is really cool.
to find out how they
that's-
lined up
that's
because I had
interesting.
my suspicions and it's turning out a little different. So,
All right, Mission Impossible though.
yeah, great action movie.
Man, I keep telling people they got to go see it, and every time I do it, I say it's maybe one of the best action movies I've seen in years.
I have to admit that I was probably, if I had to give a best action movie of the year, I was actually probably going to say Dark of the Moon because the third act action in that movie was great.
Yeah.
But then I saw Mission Impossible 4 and
yeah,
totally,
it would win most action of the year, but
Yeah.
like the most artfully creative action, like the most impactful action, the most action where like. There, I mean, I keep bringing it up. There's a shot from above Tom Cruise's head as he goes out a window, and you just think, "Oh, they got to cut away. They got to cut away," and they don't. They just keep going, and it gets in your gut. Like you feel you feel the floor drop out of you, and it's amazing. And
I'm not kidding when I was literally like on my seat, just like nervous and like
it's
throughout
an amazing,
most of the movie.
It's an
like,
amazing feeling too because you said it in our podcast too. Tom Cruise is going to live. You
Right.
know he is, but for them to still convey that, is he going to make it?
Yeah.
Is he going to make it?
Yeah.
It's just,
and it's all in the way that it's edited and the way that like those action scenes are shot, just the way that they are. That I don't even know that I fully understand how he did it.
I know
It's
that's why I can't wait
it just,
for this behind the scenes.
It just feels different than most action movies, you know.
And every action device they use, they take the predictable way, and then there's also like that last second where they do something different and change it up. And
yeah, it's all
like
it's all
he
just
leaps
in
from
little
the side
subtle
of the building,
things.
and then you think, he's going to slide into the building and be safe, but no, they have him hit the edge of the thing, and then everyone has to catch him. And,
But that's the
my
thing;
God.
he doesn't just hit the like. It would be cliche if he hit the bottom of the window and then fell, but he
And was
doesn't.
hanging
he
there,
hits
yeah.
he hits the top of the window and flops out. We watch him flop out the window, and you think he's gone. He's gone. He
Yeah.
just died. And it's those little subtle details where they think of just a slightly different way to do it or a slightly different way to shoot it. That just it's unbelievable.
and I think that's where Brad Bird as a director strengths come in Because, I mean, that scene you're talking about when he falls out and they pull him back in and Simon Pegg comes back in and kind of has that light moment. To me, that's typical Brad Bird, Incredibles kind of action where it's really tense and really incredible. Yeah. And then you have some character say just some funny line, how hard it was for him to change the numbers on on the doors,
And those lines, you see those lines in other movies, but it's earned more here because both of those are taken to extremes, where the fun lines are fun and the action and the tense moments are even more so. And so they really are. The idea there is that you have all this tension and the comedy then breaks it. But we're also used to that it doesn't really work anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
But this one, it really works.
I agree.
That you really were that tense, and then you get that line. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And the opening scene in the jail is some of the most fun I had all year.
Yeah,
honestly.
And I think sometimes Tom Cruise is really underappreciated because he always makes those cool movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, he brings an intensity into this role.
Absolutely.
That I think is really hard to convey. I mean, he did it in the third one too, but it's just. The opening scene where he's in the prison and he's communicating with just his eyes and pointing to Simon Pegg's Benji character, and you're like, yeah, dude, just open the fucking door, man. That's what Tom wants you to do.
Yeah.
And you feel that tension, and it's great.
It's funny. I've been thinking a lot about whether or not I think Mission Impossible 3 still may be my. I still may like that movie better because I think the heart in that movie is a bit more.
I'm the same way.
But the action is definitely better in this one.
The villain's definitely better.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the villain is definitely better in the third one.
No offense to the actor, but his character is really written poorly.
Yeah, he could be
underwritten.
So, but something that I wanted to talk about in the podcast that I forgot to that week was that, especially in that jail scene. I feel like lately there's been a lot of action movies where we have this sort of melee fights, and the melee fights feel sort of choreographed and they feel like a dance, and it's still cool. It's something that you get into, and there's a lot of art in making that work. And this movie, they're clearly still like that, where there's always something that's going to happen, but the way that it's shot, you don't see it coming, so it doesn't feel like a dance. It feels like random stuff, and I was totally impressed by that. Anyway, so
I like
that's
how
a good number
a lot
4.
of things don't go as planned. Like a lot of movies, everything works out for the characters, but the mask doesn't work, which is great because we've seen that gag 3 times already.
Yeah, we didn't need it again.
Yeah, so I like how they wrote it out of the movie in a way that makes sense, and then there's a lot of the creative gadgets. Like you have this iPad with a telescoping view pole or whatever, and then Brad Bird takes it further and it turns into this whole scene about this screen that hides whatever's behind it. It's
that whole scene is too cool.
And then you've got this stuff that's referenced and then is called back later. Like in the middle of one intense action scene, there's the threat of the sandstorm, and then with that whole action scene, you kind of forget about it a little bit, and then it becomes the next big action scene.
And it almost feels like, oh, this is even bigger than the last thing.
Yeah.
It just ramps stuff up.
What could top what we just saw? And then it's like this other...
It's really great. It's an
amazing movie. It really is.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways.
Well, my number 4, since you stole a movie that is obviously going to be a little higher on my list, I'm going to steal one that's obviously going to be much higher on your lists. My number 4... was a surprise for me. It's a movie called Drive.
Dick.
If I drive for you, you give me a time and a place. I give you a 5-minute window. Anything happens in that 5 minutes and I'm yours, no matter what. I don't sit in while you're running it down. I don't carry a gun. I drive.
So you just moved to LA?
No, I've been here for a while.
What do you do?
I drive for movies.
Is that dangerous?
It's only part-time.
You put this kid behind the wheel. There's nothing he can't do.
Kid, I want you to meet Mr. Bernie Rose.
My hands are a little dirty.
So am I.
My husband's coming home.
Where is he?
He's in prison.
There's some guys that want me to do a job for them, and I'm not gonna do it.
What is that you got there? One of those men gave you that? What's the job? When you get your money, his debt's paid. You never go near his family again. Did you have any idea there'd be a second car?
You said there would be another car to hold us up.
Whose money do I have? I'm gonna tell you something. Anybody finds out, we're both dead.
That's why this driver's gotta go, Bernie. He's gotta go.
Do you remember this?
No.
Any dreams you have or plans for your future, I think you're gonna have to put that on hold. For the rest of your life, you're gonna be looking over your shoulder.
You bastard!
You son of a bitch!
I knew I was gonna do it. I knew I was putting this in a low place,
Well, you
and
were
I should admit that this will probably be. I say this about Up in the Air. Up in the Air was my number 2 a couple years ago when we did this podcast, and if we did that again, Up in the Air would be my number 1. Drive is probably the movie that in a couple years I'll look back and go, no man, that movie. You know, when I watch it a few more times, I just know there's a little more meat there than even I've gotten so far. But it was amazing. I mean, that movie. It's a lot of the things that we said about Red State, where that movie does a lot of things that are daring and fresh and different, as far as having a main character that hardly ever talks and doesn't have a name. Oh, I mean, not having a name is not new, but hardly ever talks. We don't get much about him. We have this loving relationship between him and this other character that is, again, really dynamic, because we get her husband or boyfriend, I don't remember which, into the picture, and he's a great guy. Yeah, her
husband.
Husband. He's actually a great guy. Like, it plays with all of our expectations.
He went to jail.
Yeah. No, that's the thing. Is like
he cares about his kid.
Yeah, when you find out about him, he's in jail, but when he gets out, he's really sweet to her. He's really nice. Like, he was in jail, and that was shitty. Like, he was doing dumb things, because he was doing criminal things. But he loves his kid and he loves his wife, and you're like, oh shit! Like, I was rooting for our main character to get this girl, and then nada. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, my favorite scene in the movie is when he's in the elevator and he's about to be attacked, and he just goes for that huge passionate kiss, and then he kicks the shit out of that guy until he bashes his head in until it's like a pancake.
And it's the last time he sees her.
Yep.
You know, like, that's one of the other things I love about that character, is that we have these little hints at where he came from, and we get this idea that this is not the first time this kind of thing has happened, and that, like, he has come into town. He's almost like an Old West kind of character, where, like, it's almost like he rides into town, saves the day, and then has to leave because he screwed everything up. And it's wonderful. Brad?
Well, it's my number 3 was Drive, so if we could jump the order around.
Yeah, I mean, it is the next
I'll
one.
Just talk about it with you. Like, this movie is amazing. Like, it does so much with so little. It's very stylish.
Mm-hmm. Who loves the pink neon credits, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all the like 80s kind of filmmaking things that are in there.
Yeah, the music,
the music as well. Yeah.
The production.
Font. Yeah.
Well, yeah,
some of that too.
And
it feels like
the aesthetic of the movie.
It feels like a Lethal Weapon movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of tension in, like, all these quiet scenes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
There's shocking violence at other parts. Like, it's very up and down, roller coaster throughout the movie.
But at the same time
intense.
has sort of an emotional core to it.
Yeah. It's a very simple story, really, but it's done in just a different style that, is entertaining again.
I agree.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Very awesome. So that's why it was my number 3, and
it's
James' number 4.
It's a great movie.
Oh, yeah.
And the truth is, it might be one that should have been in our movies that people didn't see list. Though I think enough people saw it, but still was a movie that probably was not appreciated
like 50 million or something.
Yeah.
So
still was not appreciated as well as it should have been. I think.
Agreed.
I've heard some people are turned off by the 80s style of it.
Probably.
And it's
but the truth is that's only sort of at the beginning.
Yeah, and the structure of it isn't very, I guess, audience friendly,
Yeah,
like mass audience friendly.
Yeah, there's definitely some slow parts.
Yeah, so
or not slow. There's quiet.
But But our friend Sierra, and fan of the podcast, she picked it as her favorite movie of the year.
She did.
So
That's a good choice.
Yeah, so
Absolutely. She actually saw it with us.
Yeah.
Or with... Were you there that time?
No, I was in L.A.
That's right. Yeah.
I saw it in L.A.
But you did see the movie. She actually saw it with us the day that we did the podcast. Which
Saw
was
it the
pretty
same
cool.
week, but
Yeah.
not in the same room. So.
Right.
So it's awesome, yeah.
All right.
Go Drive.
Absolutely. Well, Ryan, we're up to your number 3.
My number 3, we've already talked about it too, is Super 8.
Oh.
So,
Very cool.
I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's an awesome movie.
It is. It is.
And I love J.J. Abrams.
Oh, that's funny. I wonder if I know the rest. Anyway, I'm starting to get to this place where I'm speculating on what's left on these. This is exciting.
So we're talking about 3.
Yeah, we are talking about your 3.
3.
Well, my 3. Okay, I said this before earlier on the podcast where I got down to my last 3 and I was just like, I don't know what to do. You know, I looked at all 3 movies and I was like, no, that should be the number 1. How do I list these? And finally, when it broke when I looked at them and I was like, okay, which of these movies really touched me and had more I don't want to say more emotion in it, but
more resonance.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Like the things that like I'm gonna look back and be like, oh, what a either sweet or heartwarming story. And the truth is that my number 3, as amazing as it is, doesn't have that. And my number 3 is Mission Impossible 4: Ghost Protocol.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a great movie. The action it just blows me away. But the truth is that nothing about the characters in that movie really sticks with me, and so the top 2 for me had to just get bumped up. But yeah, still great.
Nice.
All right.
And we just talked about my number 2. My number 2 is Drive.
Yes, this is so good. Oh man, shoot, that means man.
I'm thinking I'm gonna get a jacket like he had.
It is a cool jacket. Yeah,
actually,
absolutely.
I've heard that jacket's really hard to find, and it's worth a lot of money.
Oh, really?
Like not that
it's
specific
not just
one, but that style of jacket.
Really?
Is
highly
highly
okay.
sought after.
Wow.
And if you'd find one, you get it because people will pay a lot of money for it.
Really?
If they want it from you. So
wow, that's crazy.
Cool.
That's what I heard.
That's probably where most of the budget on that movie went then.
Maybe the most expensive part of the movie.
Yeah.
With cars in it.
Yeah. Cool.
So that Drive is your number 2. So we're on to my number 2.
Oh no.
My number 2 is Super.
Nice.
Ah, yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
Frank.
I knew I was losing her.
Excuse me. Have you seen my wife?
I don't think she wants to see you anymore.
What? Sarah!
Don't touch my car again. I'm going. That's not the kind of touching I meant.
Jock, he stole my wife. Can you arrest him?
Sometimes it's better just to accept these things.
Batman, batarang, pipe bombs, utility belt. Green Arrow has a bow and arrow.
Okay.
Why do you need all those?
I'm making up my own superhero. He needs a weapon. That'll do.
Cool.
All it takes to be a superhero is the choice to fight evil. Shut up, crime. Don't steal. Don't deal drugs. Don't molest kids.
Brutal assault by the Crimson Bolt continued last night.
You him?
No.
That's cool. I could be your kid's sidekick. Ta-da! How do I look?
That's inappropriate.
Frank is the only thing that will save me. We will take those suckers down.
That's good.
Let's do this. You just sit here and wait for crime to happen?
That's right.
This is so boring.
Yes, I can tell you now it's looking. You're not supposed to kill him.
I'm just learning. You have to teach me these things.
This is not about good and evil. This is about she loved me more because I am interesting. Yeah. Shut up, crime! Face the wrath of the Crimson Bolt!
So yeah,
we talked about this on our movies people didn't see.
That's right. So
and that was really a surprise for me. Anyway, you should talk about it first.
It was surprising that it was people didn't see it, or
No,
surprising that it's on my list,
The
or-
movie is a surprise to me.
Okay.
You should talk about it first. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to start it. It's just like, it's not. It definitely wouldn't be like high up on any critics list, or it's not a well-made movie, or smarter. It's smart in one.
There are some things that it's really smart about.
Yeah.
I mean, it deals with some issues about.
Kevin Bacon's great in it.
Yeah, but it deals with some sort of sexual issues that surround superheroes that like The Watchmen deals with. Like it's on that level sometimes,
Yeah.
and then sometimes it's just stupid.
Yeah, silly and schlocky, and it's on my list because I don't know. I guess I like disturbing movies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is a very last year we had Kick-Ass, and that's like the lighthearted, family-friendly version of this kind of story.
Oh, absolutely.
And Super is the very disturbed, mental patient version.
Kick-Ass
of
is like
that story.
Kick-Ass is like the hardcore action movie version of a diversive superhero movie, whereas this really is just trying to be a diversive superhero
because I
movie.
mean, Rainn Wilson's character in it is not stable.
Yeah.
No.
And I almost put it on my top 10 too, because I remember you told me I need to see it, and I bought it because it was like $8 at Target when it came out. I'm like, I'll just buy it, And it was, there's some parts where you watch it, this is funny. Then he walks up and just bashes that dude's head in because he cut in line.
Yeah. And that's it's crazy. Like I said, I love that movie got made, but you can't tell anybody, or I have a hard time telling anybody to see it.
It's really hard to recommend
because there is
It can be
crazy
really
shit in that
offensive,
movie that
yeah.
the movie just relies on, and yet at the same time, there's this superhero story that's completely unlike any of the ones that we're getting in the mainstream superhero movies. Like it's really tearing down that genre and saying like, no, in the real world, where Kick-Ass tried to say in the real world this and then failed, this movie says no, in the real world this guy's insane and he does crazy shit that's not okay, and you're going, and at the same time you're rooting for him, and he's surrounded by these characters that are
awful people.
Awful people, and
I mean it's bizarre, and
the movie's
at the
weird
end of the
and
movie
bizarre,
the equivalent of Robin gets shot in the face, just like that,
and even her character's like messed up in the head, and like
exactly.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because that scene where she tries to have sex with Rainn Wilson is crazy.
She rapes him.
Does she actually?
He doesn't want it.
Do they actually have sex?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I thought that like something happened and they saw. Yeah, you're right. He does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's messed up, and that's the thing I'm talking about. Is that like a lot of that same stuff about like being in costumes, being erotic, is also something that the Watchmen is dealing with, and this movie brings that into light, and even is slightly more offensive about it, because what that says about comic book fans is a really bizarre control issue kind of thing, that Super says it even more directly than Watchmen does, and it's insane.
It is. Good choice.
So,
it's a good choice, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
James, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a movie we haven't talked about.
Oh, goody.
Which I don't know if that's exciting or if it means it's not on your guys' list. My number 2 is a movie that I ended up seeing twice and was very moved by. My number 2 is Moneyball.
There are rich teams and there are poor teams. Then there's 50 feet of crap. And then there's us.
That's $1, man. What? Welcome to Oakland.
I need more money.
We're not New York. Find players with the money that we do have.
I like Perez.
Got an ugly girlfriend. Ugly girlfriend means no confidence. You guys are talking the same old nonsense like we're looking for Fabio. We got to think differently.
Who's Fabio?
Your goal shouldn't be to buy players. Your goal should be to buy wins. And in order to buy wins, you need to buy runs.
Who are you?
I'm Peter Brand.
First job in baseball?
It's my first job anywhere.
We're gonna shake things up. Why don't you walk me through the board?
I believe there's a championship team that we can afford because everyone else undervalues them, like an island of misfit toys.
We want you at first base. I've only ever played catcher. It's not that hard, Scott. Tell him, Watch.
It's incredibly hard.
He can't throw. But what can he do?
You want me to speak?
What point you get?
He gets on base.
We are card counters at the blackjack table. We're gonna turn the odds on the casino. I'm heading in. Text me the play-by-play.
Wait, what?
I don't watch the games.
Billy Bean has tried to reinvent a system that's been working for years. It was a nice theory, just not working out.
How long is Billy Bean gonna last?
He's proven himself right out of a job.
In their minds, it's threatening the game. It's threatening the way that they do things.
Hey, Daddy, do you think you'll lose your job?
What? Where did you hear that?
Well, I go on the internet sometimes.
Don't go on the internet. Watch TV or talk to people.
You're discounting what scouts have done for 150 years?
What the hell am I doing?
What is happening in Oakland?
It defies everything we know about baseball.
Just plain crazy.
If we win with this team, we'll have changed the game. This better work. I'm just kidding.
No, I think that's a good choice.
Thank you.
If there weren't these other 10 movies, it would have been on my list.
Yeah, I knew you were going to put it on yours.
Is it not on your list?
Yeah, I knew
Okay.
you were going to put it on yours, so I left it off mine. Not that it's actually a great movie. It really is. I'll let
Honestly,
you talk about it.
since I saw the movie, it was my number one. I figured, like, this is going to be my number one. My number one ended up... I saw my number one, and we all already know what it is. I saw my number one before we saw Moneyball, and for some reason, I was just like, no, Moneyball is totally it. And then, in the end, my number one hopped up above it. Moneyball, it's a couple of different things. First of all, since I didn't really know much about baseball, the story itself... It's kind of like the opposite of Hugo for me, where the story itself was kind of really interesting because I didn't know what happened. I didn't know what was going on and what things he really changed. And so, like I said on the podcast when we talked about it, the first time I watched it, it was almost like this fascinating documentary thing where I'm learning about all this stuff that's happening. And then the second time I watched it, it's this really emotional story about this guy who has never really gotten the respect that he maybe deserves or was treated poorly by the system, then flips it on his head, and then when he's given the chance to really succeed by the amazing thing that he has just figured out how to do, he then chooses to instead just stay with his family and like, you know, live the life that he wants to live. And that just totally stuck with me. The movie is, I mean, it's scripted by Aaron Sorkin, so it's some of the best writing that we had all year, especially the dialogue. And it's amazing.
Yeah, Brad Pitt's really good in it.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, I don't know what he has to do to get, you know, the props for the movie.
Yeah.
Because he plays it in a way where it's subtle, but under anybody else, it might not work as well. You know what I mean?
I think I do, because a lot of times he feels like just another Brad Pitt character.
Exactly.
But there are little things that he's definitely doing that get across the emotion of how... what's that guy's name? Billy
Bean.
Billy Bean. Of how Billy Bean in the movie feels. Obviously, he's a real dude. But of you know, the way that he is reacting to the things that's going on.
And I thought it was a really good movie, you know, and surprisingly, I mean, I saw the trailers for it, and I thought the trailers were kind of hokey, but when you sit there and watch the movie, it's done really well.
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, the dialogue's snappy, and I love the scenes where they're in, you know, basically the baseball war room, where they're trying to decide what free agents, but they can't spend money, so they're trying to find out ways to get them on. And,
where he's talking about the other agents, you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
I wasn't sure if you were talking about the scenes on the phone, because the scenes on the phone are crazy, because you don't always really understand what they're talking about, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Like, they give you a few enough bones, and it's part of what Aaron Sorkin's so good at, is that he can talk the way that the people really talk, but then get across what you need to keep track of things.
I agree.
Yeah, when they're making trades. And
when they're making trades.
Use this guy and give him that guy, and if we do that, we'll get this guy. And I'm just like, okay.
And you don't understand what they're thinking or why they're doing what it is, or even you can't even keep track. But it doesn't matter, because when the beats come, when their little victories and things like that come, you understand it. That movie just totally worked for me. And it's funny because I was the other way. That could have been a big disappointment for me. I was a big fan of Capote, the guy who directed Capote, then directed this. And when I first saw those trailers, I was like, I'm gonna love this movie. Like, this is my movie. Partially just because of the dialogue that was in the trailer. I was like, oh man, I want that. And then when we saw the movie, I was just like, yeah, this is exactly what I wanted. So,
but apparently there's still one movie that beat that out.
There was still one movie that beat that out.
But first, Ryan.
So we're doing our number ones.
We are down to our number ones.
This is a movie
Final round.
where you guys are going to just tear me apart on that. To me, the best movie of the year was Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2.
Harry, be safe. Be strong.
Harry Potter. You have fought valiantly. Now, join me and confront your fate.
You've kept him alive so that he can die at the proper moment.
Bring him to me.
Let's find out where he is. If we find him, we can end this.
I say we jump now!
Hogwarts is threatened. Man the boundaries, protect us.
I have to go back, haven't I?
It's a suicide mission. The boy who lived, come to die.
Tell them how it happened that night. How you looked him in the eye. A man who trusted you and killed him.
I never wanted any of you to die for me. You'll stay with me.
Always.
Until the end.
Come on, Tom. Let's finish this the way we started it. Together!
Only I can live forever.
What?
Okay.
Now, I know why you guys don't like this movie, but being a Harry Potter fan and being a fan of the books and being a fan of the movies, to have a huge payoff and done as well as they did it, I thought was truly amazing.
No, I understand.
And being invested in the characters for as long as you have been, and no matter what anybody says, for 8 films to be consistently really good and have fun with them, I thought was an amazing feat. And
it is amazing how consistent those movies are
for that length of time. And yeah, most films can't even get the
sequels
talent
right.
and quality in from one movie to the next. So yeah, to do it that long.
And the truth is, like, I tore that movie up and I would do it again in a second. But the truth is, with what they have to work with, what they're asked to do in that movie is extremely difficult, and they do a pretty decent job of it, I guess.
But see, to me, some of my favorite moments in that movie is just the overall loss of what's going on. I mean, you're focusing on Harry, and I mean, there's so much destruction going on around him, and there's so many. I love the score in the movie, and I just thought the movie was really well done.
Yeah.
And it was my favorite movie, and I didn't know if it would be my favorite movie of the year. I mean, since I'm already a fan of Harry Potter, I knew I'd like it a lot.
Yeah.
But I was impressed. I really was.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. It's hard for me to talk about it because you both don't like the movie.
It's not a bad choice.
So it's but to me, it was a culmination of 10 years of making these movies and 10 years of Harry being tormented and 10 years of Dumbledore lying to come together. Is
just lying, nothing too sinister.
Yeah.
Yeah, lying, but
just canoodling to make sure that Harry dies.
Yeah, sending a
lying
boy to
for
his,
the greater good.
Sending a boy to his death.
The greater good.
The greater good.
Yeah. I almost put this movie on my $10 I want back list.
I'm not surprised you didn't.
I wouldn't go that far.
But yeah, so my number one movie is Harry Potter.
Very cool.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Wow, Brad just cuts like a knife. Brad.
I meant that it's genuine.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make I feel bad for you that we can't join in on your number one festivities. So I'm trying to make it.
Yeah, it's all right. Brad,
it's weird to be this far in and have one where like It's not just all of us going like, oh man, oh yeah. Yeah, it is. But no, it's a good choice.
Well, we'll see if the same thing happens to me, because this is my number one. Hobo with a shotgun.
Oh, whoa.
No way! You didn't just do that.
I did, and I loved it.
All right, wait, let's play the trailer. Okay.
I used to be like you. A long time ago. People look at you and think of how wonderful your future will be. They want you to be something special, like a doctor or a lawyer. I hate to tell you this, but if you grow up here, you're more likely to wind up selling your bodies on the streets or shooting dope from dirty needles in a bus stop. And if you're successful, you'll make money selling junk to crackheads. And you won't think twice about killing someone's wife, because you won't even know what was wrong in the first place. Maybe you'll end up like me, a hobo with a shotgun.
So what's your beef, James?
No,
why can't
I
I
don't.
like Hobo with Shotgun?
No, I don't.
Most of all,
no. It's not. Hey, I really liked Hobo
to
with
me,
a
that's
Shotgun.
the most shocking number one.
Yes,
but
absolutely. I
not
just
that it's
never
a bad
thought.
movie, but
I honestly, going into tonight, I thought like, oh, he'll probably put Hobo with a Shotgun on his list. But number one, no way. I never expected that.
it really like my top 5 are like all my number one, because I really
you had a hard time with it.
This was early in the year that I saw it, and that and Super kind of like stuck with me throughout the whole year.
Right.
And since there was nothing really else competing with it for a very long time, it was hard to move them out of those top 2 spots.
Yeah.
So I decided to just kind of leave it there. And
Well, the truth, like in your top 5, you have some very different movies in there, so I can see how it would be. Like my top 3 are all fairly mainstream movies, and so I don't have to make the same decisions as like, well, you know, like even like with Drive at my number 4, I have to make decisions about like, well, do I like that movie less because it's indie or something like that, you know? Whereas you've got 5 very different movies in your top list, so I can see how you would have that problem. You would say that.
Yeah, it was.
yeah, that's cool though.
Like, I
mean,
liked them all a lot, but yeah, I just left Hobo with a Shotgun up there because it was up there like number 1 the longest all year.
Yeah.
And yeah, I guess I just like weird, distressing movies.
You do.
This
It's
year, so.
very evident by this list.
Your list as a whole,
So, but as far as like,
it's another messed up movie.
Yeah, and like again, like schlocky, just like really poor taste kind of movie, but at the same time, tons of fun to watch.
Absolutely, absolutely.
You know,
I watched it last night actually because I haven't seen it since the theater,
and you wanted to make sure,
and I want to make sure I still loved it.
Yeah,
because I was like, am I really gonna not put Ghost Protocol or Drive ahead of this before we get here? And like, it's like, no, it earned it. It's up there with the top 5, and. Yeah, it's a couple years ago we had the Grindhouse features, and I think this movie is really authentic to that genre.
Yeah.
Not so much the 70s, but more of like the 80s films.
Yeah,
and for a first-time director to pull off that quality is really impressive.
Yeah, and it's funny that you bring up the Grindhouse movies, because one of the things that I thought of when I saw Hobo with a Shotgun was that like the Grindhouse movies are really fun and great and are certainly paying homage to those movies.
I love Planet Terror,
but because, and I'm a huge fan of Death Proof, like I still think that's one of the best car chases that we've seen in a long, long time. But watching Hobo with a Shotgun, because it is so low budget, it's really authentic as to that genre. Like it's really achieving that thing. It's trying to be that shitty kind of movie.
And it's also really creative in new ways, because I haven't seen like the sewer head death before.
Oh,
like,
there's some crazy stuff in that movie.
Yeah, and the lawnmower, like actually that was in like what is it, Dead Alive?
It is, yeah.
But
the movie's cool though. I love the scene where he's saving up to get a lawnmower.
Yeah.
But then he's when those people get robbed, he's had enough and he decides to buy a gun instead and kill people with it. I think's pretty awesome.
And the dialogue is like so bad it's great. Like it's intentionally bad, but it makes you like it's supposed to make you laugh, and it does. And I totally forgot this one scene. Thankfully I watched it last night, but when they finally decide to go off and leave everything behind, the girl and the hobo, to go start the lawnmower business, and they're in her apartment trying to decide what to take.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think we should take a blanket because it's going to be cold. And she grabs the TV, and she's like, we don't need TV. There's no TV where we're going. She's like, you're right. And then just trashes it on the floor.
Oh, it's so good.
And then the whole scene where he's talking about bears.
Yes.
And then she wakes up the next day, and apparently he got into her apartment while she was asleep and put the picture of the bear on the nightstand. And she's like all like impressed by it.
Doesn't she keep calling him Bear the rest of the movie? Or something like that?
She says something like, we can't be bears or something, or
I
really want to go to the zoo so we
Didn't
can
she get him a
see the
sweatshirt with
bears.
a bear on it, though?
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, that movie's goofy.
It's so goofy, and the horrible things like the two sons say. They're like, I'm going to wash off your blood with my blood or something. Like just stupid lines like that.
Oh, man. That movie
But
is
in lesser
absolutely
hands,
ridiculous.
it's stupid. But when they purposely try to make a movie like that, and I mean, they sell it, you know what I mean? And it's hard. That's a hard thing to do.
Fun is not an easy thing to do in a movie.
No.
Not at all.
And
so,
also,
you
I watched a documentary last week called Best Worst Movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a movie about how people don't really set out to make bad movies. It just happens that way, and there's an audience out there that enjoys that.
Mm-hmm.
Like seeing something that had good intentions, turns out terrible, and is still likable. And here's a movie that set out to make a bad movie, and is still likable.
Yeah.
Best Worst Movie was from last year, right? That wasn't from this year, was it?
I think it was from last year. Yeah, it was on Netflix. It's not part of my list. It's just
no. I wasn't calling you out on that. No, I was saying that because otherwise it probably it would have deserved consideration because I love Best Worst Movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a good documentary.
Yeah, it is.
So anyway,
especially for any kind of film person. But yeah, man, Hobo with a Shotgun. Plus, it's got that title.
Yeah,
the movie's called Hobo with a Shotgun. You can't not love it.
It's tons of fun.
Yeah,
like how could you not want to go see that?
Yeah.
My parents didn't want to.
What's the name of the gang at the end?
The
the
plague.
Robot people. Yeah, the plague.
Yeah,
which is
I love how they
it's
have
credited separately. Like it's attributed to some other guy. Like some other guy
thought it up
plague.
in the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, I love how they have the pictures of all the people throughout history that they've killed.
Oh yes,
insinuating that this is.
They've been around.
They're not immortal, but they're like a legion of people taking the role or whatever. Yeah, it's just like Abraham Lincoln and like people these people did not kill, but they're attributing it to. And then there's the octopus behind the wall. Like what the fuck else is in this universe?
Oh man, that movie.
Anyway,
yeah, it's great. That's a good pick. That's I think Ryan and I just reacted that way because we never expected that to be number one.
Yeah.
It was just out of nowhere. That is good, right?
So James,
my number one.
You.
Yeah, I'm the last
Finish
one.
The show.
Well, yeah. By this point, I think it's really obvious. My number one was Super 8. That movie. It's exactly what I said. When I got down to Super 8, Moneyball, and Mission Impossible, I thought, how can I do this? And it came down to which one touches me more, and Super 8 is totally it.
Nice.
While Drive may move up in the next few years, it won't surpass Super 8 because everything about that movie, from the score to the direction to the acting, is all the things that I want out of movies. I mean, we said it on the podcast. When I got out of that movie, that I was like, yeah, this is why I like movies. This movie right here,
I agree.
No matter how derivative it is of E.T. or any of that, I don't give a shit. Like, it's really great.
You know what, James? By you picking that number one, you brought the Real Nerds full circle, as that was the first show we did.
Oh, that's true.
No, we did X-Men First Class, which I was surprised didn't end up on your.
But
our first official one
is with James. Yeah.
Super great.
Super great. That's right.
Well, yeah, it's like the first one because we recorded one. Yeah, that's right, because I wasn't there. Yeah, you're right. Cool.
Brought it back full circle.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
So awesome.
So is it Drive or is it Mission Impossible? It's Drive.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be Drive.
I don't think there needs to be a clear winner, but go ahead and choose.
I don't know. I think that if there was a movie that was really like,
Yeah, Driver Mission Impossible was high in all of our.
Yep.
But Super 8 was too. Wait, was it?
No, Super 8 was like your 6, and it was his 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Either way.
I don't
think it matters.
Yeah. If you want to see a popcorn action flick, go see Mission Impossible. If you want to see a thinking man's action flick, go see Drive.
Absolutely.
That's kind of rude to Brad Bird, I think.
No,
Ghost Chronicles.
Yeah, no, but it's not.
Pretty smart.
It's not as thinking.
Yeah.
I think that what he said is true.
I think Drive is more ethereal, thriller,
sure.
action.
Absolutely.
Anyway.
Anyways,
honorable mention time.
Yeah, honorable mention. There's a few movies that I really loved, and we talked about a couple of them. Moneyball was actually my first honorable mention.
Oh yeah,
on there.
Good.
My second one was The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, which I liked a lot.
I did too. It ends up being my 15. It just never, as great as it was.
It's a cool movie. I think the hardest thing with it is, it's dealing with rape.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
murder.
There's a lot of hard stuff to deal with it. It's not,
and I guess really that's not my biggest problem with it. I guess my biggest problem is you knew who the killer was right away.
Yeah,
so
it's really same. Yeah, absolutely.
But the credit sequence was the
really
coolest of the year. It's my favorite credit sequence ever,
for sure.
I didn't talk about it very highly in the show we did, but weeks later, it's still lingering with me. So I put it on my honorable mention as well.
Oh, cool.
So it's grown on me since last I saw it. So
nice. And then I have The Adventures of Tintin.
Oh, cool.
On mine, and you mentioned X-Men.
Yeah,
X-Men was so close to being on my top 10, but
in the episode we did, you made such a big deal out of it, whereas
I think it's the best X-Men movie. I really do.
Oh, X-Men movie, yeah.
Yeah, that's possible. That may be true. It's a movie that's grown on me more. Like I do really like it, but I had weird momentum problems with the movie when I saw it in theaters, and as I've watched it on Blu-ray, they've sort of gone away.
And the best part of it totally is January Jones as Emma Frost.
Oh, of course.
It may be my 18, but that is only because the movies above it are really great.
Yeah.
The Muppets is one of the movies that is on my list, or is lower down, that I wished I could have gotten on there. I think it, just because of what it is, it didn't quite surpass the movies that were in my time. And Fright Night was the other one that I really wanted to be there.
And you mentioned, I think, Rise of the Planet of the Apes at the beginning, about surprises.
Yeah, it was just a surprise.
And to me, I actually really liked that movie. Yeah. And I was the only one in our podcast that really wanted to see it, I remember.
There is one that I want to give props to, which is Fast 5. I know this sounds dumb, but the truth is, there is no reason why the 5th Fast and Furious movie should be as good as it is and should have a better driving action sequence than Bad Boys 2 in it, but it totally does. That movie, if you didn't get a chance to see it in theaters, you may have missed out, because I think it worked probably best in theaters, but you should check it out if you didn't see it, because it's cool. It's really fun. Brad, what are your honorable mentions?
I'll quickly go. There's a lot of them, so I'll just quickly go through. Cedar Rapids I thought was funny, but not really top 10 material. The Illusionist was an animated thing, which I'm not sure you guys know about.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, no, it's from the Triplets of Belleville guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 Assassins was a Japanese samurai movie, which is, I think the last 45 minutes is all one big action scene. It's great. The stuff leading up to that is just kind of disturbing and slow, so couldn't give it, full endorsement. And then Paul was a fun.
Oh yeah. I wanted to find a place for Paul.
Yeah, it was like kind of almost close to Super 8 for me, like that level, like that love for sci-fi that was in it.
Yeah.
But the whole Seth Rogen as the alien, listening to it, I feel like it's just Seth Rogen there the whole time. I'm not really thinking of him as a different character. So, but other than that, like Simon Pegg and Nick Frost are great, and Jason Bateman, like his whole thing where you think he's the villain the whole time, but he's actually spoiler word. Horrible Bosses, another comedy I found.
Yeah,
yes, Horrible
funny.
Bosses. Yeah.
Motherfucking Jones.
Motherfucking Jones.
I had the Muppets, Tucker and Dale, Attack the Block, Tintin, Dragon Tattoo, Moneyball, all in there like you guys. And then Anonymous, I thought was pretty good. We had that argument.
I'm sorry,
already.
I didn't mean to laugh.
But you did.
I'll see it eventually.
And then Warhorse is just a good movie in general, but it's like a typical good movie. So
yeah, this would probably be a good time for me to mention that I have an unfortunately long list of shame, and Warhorse is on there. Everything
list of shame.
Yeah, movies that I didn't see.
Oh, okay.
Warhorse is on there. The Artist is on there. Win-Win, The Guard, and Midnight in Paris are all movies that I wish I could have seen by the time that we
Midnight
did
in
this
Paris
list.
is still out.
No, I know. Well, I've been busy the last 2 weeks. I've had
I'm surprised because it's been out since like July.
No, I know. Well, I mean, yeah, I missed it.
Sorry,
I see what you're saying.
I keep looking at the theater listings and like, God, this is still out. Do people love this that much?
People really like it. Yeah. It's Woody Allen. People turn up. Anyway, so I list those off because that way, those may be movies that when I see in the next couple months, I would be like, oh man, this would totally be on my list.
If you see any of those in January of this year, you are still welcome to include them on next year's.
No, I'm not, because I would unfairly be removing a 2012 movie from my 2012 list. All right,
cool. Quickly, movie you're looking forward to next year?
Well, I was thinking, I got a whole list of movies.
Yeah.
Brad thinks that next year's going to suck. I would like to list really quick all of the movies that I think are going to be great. Well, I mean, yours are all on this list.
I don't think it's going to suck. I just don't have a lot of stuff that I'm really like following that much because I'm that interested. It's just like The Dark Knight Rises. That's what I'm really looking forward to. And then I'm curious about Looper. And it's been 3 years since Fantastic Mr. Fox, so I'm hoping there's a Wes Anderson film towards the end of the year on the horizon.
But we haven't heard anything yet.
Huh?
I mean, the same thing is true for the Coen brothers. Like, there should be a Coen brothers movie. Gambit comes out next year. It's written by them, but it's not directed. There should be a Coen brothers movie, but we don't really know what it is yet.
Yeah.
So yeah.
After Fantastic Mr. Fox ended, they were talking about some movie that's like some pet project. So hopefully that's coming out soon. It's been enough time. So James, what were your looking forward to?
I'm just going to read this whole list of movies that I want to see next year, and you're going to sit there for a second. So hold on. Right. Haywire, Cabin in the Woods, Battleship, Prometheus, Brave, The Dark Knight Rises, G.I. Joe Retaliation, The Bourne Legacy, Avengers, Looper, Amazing Spider-Man, Total Recall, The Wettest Country in the World, Iron Sky comes out next year, Paranorman, Gambit, Resident Evil Retribution, Dread, The Twilight Zone, Skyfall, Ouija, Twilight Saga Part 2.
No!
All right, stop right there. I can't go on with this. I can't stay silent. Battleship, really?
Gravity, Lincoln, World War Z, The Hobbit, An Unexpected Journey, Kill Bin Laden, The Great Gatsby, Django Unchained, and This Is 40. Okay, there are a few of them in there that are kind of jokey.
Is this 40 movies you just went off?
No, This Is 40 is the next... oh, shoot, what's his name? The guy who did... Funny People and Judd Apatow. The next Judd Apatow movie is This Is 40. But yeah, there are obviously a few jokes. I don't really want to see Ouija or Battleship, but we probably will. I think that's an amazing list, and a lot of those are great movies. Especially, I made a point about Iron Sky. Iron Sky is this movie about Nazis that are hiding on the moon, and they finally build spaceships and come back to attack the Earth. I've been wanting to see that movie forever. It's like an indie movie, so it'll be shit. But still, I am excited about that. And Looper, I'm excited about. Prometheus and Cabin in the Woods is like one of these dark horses that's just showing up, and I can't wait to see it. The Twilight Zone I'm interested in. Obviously, The Hobbit. I'm surprisingly excited about The Great Gatsby. And then obviously all the stuff you listed. The Dark Knight.
Yeah, Spider-Man really for me.
Absolutely. The Avengers.
See? You don't have to look forward to everything.
No, I do. I think next year's going to be great.
I think so too. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. Because I think that there are things on this list that I listed that may, like Paranorman, that, looks interesting. That may end up being on our top, very close to the tops of our list next year.
We'll decide in January 2013 how great 2012 was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now the moment all our fans have been waiting for.
Oh, that's right. We have something to give away.
We have a $10 gift certificate.
Save the only part they care about for last.
Well, they all skipped 2.5 hours forward.
Yeah.
So we have the names of everybody who submitted on our Facebook page or Twitter.
And thank you for submitting.
Submitting.
Absolutely, yeah.
And whoever wins this, we will send them a $10 gift card.
Obviously, people live in different areas that submitted, so it's not just... There's different theater chains, so once we talk to you, let us know what chain you have so we can get you the right gift card, because we don't want to give you an AMC and you not have an AMC in your area.
Right, absolutely.
So just let us know.
Shake it really good, because Sierra tried to cheat.
Oh, I'm shaking it. I am shaking it. It's in Brad's top hat. You can't see this in Radio Land, but...
It's a really nice hat.
It's a top hat.
It's almost as nice as the envelopes you brought today.
So, Brad, do you want to do the honors?
I don't think I should, because it's my hat, so... I think
all right, I'll do it.
James will pull it out, read the name, and their favorite movie.
This person's favorite movie was Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and this person was Adam Smith.
Hey, our friend Adam. I actually picked Tucker and Dale because he listed like 5 movies. So I put the one on there that I think should be his favorite movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a good choice. I was really excited when I saw who it was. That's cool. All right.
Congrats, Adam.
Congrats, Adam.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of our best friends just won.
It was not. It was
that
not
seems
loaded.
really shady.
Yeah. Do you want to do another one?
Ah, gosh. I'll get Adam a card. We should do someone else because it
All right.
seems
Okay.
like favoritism. So
All right, cool.
Here, Ryan, you pick one. This time.
I'll buy Adam a movie myself.
If it's my wife, we'll
if
get
it's
someone else
Sierra,
to-
if it's Sierra, we're gonna do this again too.
Oh.
Did you pick your wife?
No. This is Alex, and his favorite movie is Season of the Witch.
I said this guy couldn't win!
So, Alex sent a funny story about how he was drunk when he saw it, so he doesn't really remember it, but he's pretty sure it's Season of the Witch.
You know what? Actually, I was kind of hoping he would.
Yeah.
As mad as I am that anyone said that was their favorite movie, I think it's kind of cool. So I'm more than happy for this kid.
So
to get
Alex
some
will send you a message on Facebook or Twitter. He
did through email, so
he did through email. So we'll email you and make sure you send us your address and what movie theater you'd like your $10 gift certificate to.
Oh, man.
So
and
yeah,
if you happen to live anywhere close to Denver, you are free to come and see a movie with us.
Yeah.
No, not drunk, please. All right. Well, that was really good. I'm
thanks,
actually really excited about
Jacob
this.
for submitting, and
Yeah.
Sierra, and
Jacob, Sierra, Shauna.
What are the names of the people who we don't actually know?
Jacob and Alex.
Jacob and Alex.
Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool.
So somebody we don't
But yeah,
know.
I am kind of excited that it was one of the people we don't know. It's just funny that it was him of all people.
Thank you for finding us and
Yeah, thanks.
entering our
absolutely,
contest.
yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. So thank you.
Please
Hey,
tell your friends about this show.
yeah, this is Real Nerds. You can find us on Facebook. You can like us on Facebook. You can also read about our blog on Twitter. On Tumblr, realnerds.tumblr.com. Sometime this week I will post all the movies I've watched with a grade on them, so you can see how I came to my consensus on
all 60 plus.
All 60 plus will be on there.
Nice.
I'm gonna do my top 20. There'll probably be a few honorable mentions on there as well.
Cool.
I'm going to post my list as well.
Sure.
I guess once you guys are done.
You can follow us on Twitter at real_nerds. You can download us on iTunes.
Real Nerds Podcast.
Real Nerds Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we can't wait to listen to continue this next year.
Oh, hey. Speaking of next year, Comic-Con.
Oh, yeah. Well, we'll
are
talk
you guys
about it when it
interested?
gets close.
Well, are you guys interested in representing Real Nerds for Comic-Con? San Diego?
If I can. If I have the money to go.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll have the money to go, James.
Whoa.
All right.
It's 3 or nothing. We can't.
Yeah, I know.
No,
I mean,
no,
if
no,
we have the
no,
ability, we'll go.
I totally want to go. I wasn't saying that as if I don't.
We will go. This has
We
been
have T-shirts and everything.
a Nebulous Visions
and
production.
We should say, it's the end of the year, and I should say, this has been really, really cool. And even if it's true that no one is listening at all, or the weeks that 54 people are listening, this has been really fun, and I like doing this with you guys, even if we were just seeing movies.
Just bullshitting is fun. Actually, I want to thank Brad for putting together all the awesome posters and doing a great job editing.
He's done an amazing job.
Yeah,
doing stuff for this
he really has. James for coming along on my journey. I know this is, I'm mentioned like, Ryan Frost's Nerd Buddies, but I couldn't do it without you two.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
So thanks. This is Nebulous Visions production. I don't know what we're going to see next week because I don't think anything comes out.
We've all been a little bit busy with these lists as well, so I don't think we've all been looking forward.
I will post what we're going to see. We might watch a movie at home because I don't know what comes out. Haywire comes out next week, correct?
Oh, yeah. No, Haywire's next week.
We'll see Haywire next week.
Yeah, no, we're totally seeing Haywire, dude.
So we'll see Haywire, so stay tuned for that. Until then, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.
See you in 2012.
Bye.
Yeah. It's 2012 already.